So there I was, walking down the street, and literally everyone was talking about me. And not in the cool, "Oh, he's so amazing" way. More like the, "Haha, look at that loser" way. Let me back up. My name is Luo Tianya. I'm 15, and I have a secret. I'm not actually from this world. Yeah, I'm a transmigrator. You know, the whole, died in one world, woke up in another deal. I figured I was Destiny's favorite child. The chosen one. The main character of this universe. This place is called the Divine Beast Continent. Cool name, right? Here, humans team up with magical beasts to fight off evil monsters from outer space, or whatever. And when you turn 12, you get to connect with this mystical place called the Divine Beast Pool and receive an egg. One egg. Your life partner. Your ride-or-die battle companion. 3 years ago, I was the first kid in the whole city to get a response from the pool. First, everyone lost their minds. My family, the Luo clan, biggest clan in Maple Leaf City, they were throwing money at me like I was a walking investment. They pumped 3 times the normal amount of spirit liquid into my egg. 3 times. Do you know how expensive that stuff is? You could probably buy a house with what they spent on my egg. So 3 days ago, the big moment finally came. Hatching day. The whole clan gathered at the training grounds like it was the Super Bowl. Elders, cousins, that uncle who always smells like garlic. Everyone was there. The egg started cracking. Everyone held their breath. Crack, crack, crack. And out crawled a caterpillar. A caterpillar. Not a dragon. Not a phoenix. Not even a slightly cool-looking lizard. A fat, wiggly, big-eyed caterpillar. It immediately ate its own eggshell like it hadn't had a meal in 3 years, which, fair, it hadn't. Then crawled up my shoulder and started rubbing its face against my cheek. Like, "Hey Dad, got any snacks?" I was frozen. The whole clan was frozen. You could hear a pin drop. Actually, no, you could hear my dignity dropping. Then they tested its power level. See, beasts are ranked from level 1 to 9. Even the weakest ones hatch at level 1. Some talented ones start at level 3. The testing crystal touched my caterpillar, and nothing. Absolutely nothing. The servant holding it looked like he wanted to crawl into a hole and die on my behalf. He stuttered out, "In no detectable level. Possibly. Below level 1. Below level 1. My caterpillar literally broke the scale in the wrong direction. My dad, the clan leader, looked at me like I'd personally insulted his ancestors. Then he just turned around and stormed off without saying a word. Which, honestly, was better than what came next, because once the boss left, everyone else went wild. What a waste of resources. You could have fed those spirit liquids to a pig and gotten a level 3 pig. And my personal favorite, give back everything the clan spent on you. I tried to find something special about this caterpillar. I really did. I looked at it from every angle. It had big eyes. Kind of cute, maybe. Oh, great. Cute. That's super useful in a death battle. Please don't kill me. Look how adorable my caterpillar is. Yeah, that would probably make them kill me faster. But then, I touched the little guy, and my brain basically exploded. Thunder and lightning, fire and water, the whole universe going kaboom inside my skull. I heard a giant gong sound and passed out cold. Right before I blacked out, I heard something whisper, "System binding successful." That's right. I got a system. I was out for 3 days. 3 days. And in those 3 days, the entire city turned me into a meme. First genius falls from grace, hatches a caterpillar. Luo Tianya so shocked he fainted on the spot. And the worst one, clan gives up on him, his academy spot goes to his cousin. Oh, and apparently some rich girls in town said if my clan kicks me out, they'd take care of me. Like I'm some kind of pretty stray puppy. I'm 15. I have dignity. Okay, fine. I am pretty good looking. But still. So today I'm walking through town, and people are literally pointing and laughing at me. I tried to glare at them, but apparently my face is too pretty to look scary. One lady actually giggled when I tried to look fierce. Finally I snapped. Keep staring, and I'll strip you naked and hang you from the city wall for 3 days. That shut them up real quick. Say what you want about me, but I'm still from the #1 clan. I can do that. After they scattered, I summoned my caterpillar and looked at it with a big dumb grin. These fools have no idea what's coming. They're out here laughing at me while I've got a whole cheat system loading up. Just you wait. Okay, so remember how I passed out for 3 days? Turns out that was my cheat code finally activating. Took 15 years. 15. I've been in this world since I was a baby, and my golden finger, that's what we call cheat powers here, decided to show up fashionably late. Like, thanks buddy, could have used you literally any time before I became the laughingstock of the entire city. But whatever, because when I woke up this morning, there it was, floating right in front of my eyes like a video game screen. Big shiny golden letters at the top. Invincible Evolution System. I almost screamed. Here's what my status panel looked like. Host, Luatienya. Level, unranked. Evolution points, 0. Bonded Beast, Caterpillar. Azure Dragon Species. Azure. Dragon. Species. My caterpillar, my fat, wiggly, adorable little caterpillar, has the bloodline of a divine dragon. The kind of beast that hasn't been seen on this continent in who knows how long. Everyone's been calling it a worthless bug, and it's literally got legendary god beast DNA running through its tiny body. The problem? It hatched too early. The spirit liquids my clan fed it were basically baby formula when this thing needed a 5-star gourmet feast. So it came out premature and underpowered. That's why it registered below level 1. It's basically a divine dragon baby that was born hungry and underdeveloped. Its status literally said, congenital developmental deficiency. Extremely hungry. Same, little buddy. Same. I started laughing like a maniac when I read all this. The maid outside my door probably thought I'd lost my mind from the shame. Oh no, the fallen genius has gone crazy. No girl, the fallen genius just hit the jackpot. Oh, and bonus, the system binding upgraded my spiritual power into soul power. That's something you normally only get when you surpass level 9. Which means I can form contracts with way more beasts than someone at my level should be able to. I'm basically running around with endgame abilities at the tutorial stage. I held my caterpillar in my palm and stroked it gently. Don't worry, little guy. I'm gonna make you grow into a full azure dragon. It wiggled its little antennae and poked my palm. I think that means, cool, but also feed me. Together, we're going to the top of this entire continent. Very dramatic. Very heroic. The caterpillar just looked hungry. Now, the system needs something called evolution points to work. And since it's all about beast evolution, I figured the fastest way to earn points was probably beast battles. So I headed straight for the city's beast arena. Quick explanation. In this world, besides your bonded beast, you can also make contracts with other beasts called companion beasts. The difference is huge though. Your bonded beast levels you up when it grows. Companion beasts? They fight for you, but you don't get their power-ups. Also, if a companion beast dies in battle, it's gone forever. Your bonded beast just retreats into your soul to heal. So bonded beasts are your ride or die. Companions are more like hired mercenaries. The arena is where everyone goes to train and fight their beasts. It's always packed. I walked in like I owned the place, which, technically, my family partly does. The guards didn't dare ask me for a ticket. One of them even whispered, "Young Master Law," as I passed. Yeah, that's right. I'm still clan royalty even if my beast is a caterpillar. Put some respect on my name. But then, right before I stepped through the gate, I heard the most obnoxious voice behind me. Well, well, well. If it isn't the Loa family's famous little caterpillar, I turned around. And there he was. White clothes, fancy folding fan, the most punchable face in all of Maple Leaf City, by Gia. This guy is from the Bai family, our rival clan. He's basically a professional annoying person. But he's also a massive coward who only acts tough when his sister isn't around to overshadow him. So I fired back. Oh hey, isn't this by Chio's famous little lapdog by Gia? Your sister's not in town. You actually dare to show your face without her. His face turned green. Like actually green. It was beautiful. See, his sister Bai Chio is the real genius of their family. 5 years ago, she was the first to get a response from the divine beast pool, just like me. Except her egg hatched into a rare mutant beast called an ice flame lion. Dual ice and fire bloodline. She got scouted by the Southern Sky Academy's special class, and now she's apparently a big deal there. Meanwhile, her brother is. Well, bye Gia. But then this clown pulled out his trump card. Humph. I just hatched my own beast, a blazing lion. The Southern Sky Academy spot is mine now. And you? You and your little worm can stay in this city forever. You'll never see what's beyond these walls. He summoned a little dog-sized red lion at his feet. I had to admit, the thing was radiating level 3 energy. Not bad for a fresh hatch. A divine beast, he declared, nose pointed at the sky, never looks down at the ants beneath its feet. Then he scooped up his little lion and strutted past me into the arena like he was walking a red carpet. I watched him go and shrugged. Level 3? Cute. Really cute. My caterpillar is an azure dragon. Your little fire kitty is going to be a footnote in my story, buddy. I walked into the arena with a smile on my face. The second I walked into the beast arena, the noise hit me like a truck. Thousands of people screaming, cheering, losing their minds over beast fights. It was like a sports stadium powered by pure chaos. I wasn't here to be a fan, though. I had business. So I skipped the crowd and headed upstairs to the Luo family's VIP box. Perks of being from the #1 clan. We get a private booth while everyone else is down there sweating on each other. But when I got to box #1, 2 massive bodyguards blocked my path. Sorry, young Master Luo. Young Master Luo Hua is inside. He said nobody is allowed in. I stared at them. Excuse me? He's a Luo, and I'm not? Last time I checked, my last name is still Luo. As long as I have this surname, I belong to this family, and I don't care if my bonded beast is a caterpillar or a potato. I pushed right past them. Inside, this kid, Luo Hua, same age as me, my lovely cousin, turned around looking annoyed. I said don't let anyone. Then he saw it was me and got this disgusting little smirk on his face. Oh, if it isn't our first genius, he said. First genius, the way you'd say, first loser. My response? I don't pay attention to things ugly people say. Then I walked right past him to the balcony. I could practically hear his brain short-circuiting behind me. See, I've been better than this kid at everything our entire lives. Talent, grades, looks, you name it. Now that my talent is supposedly gone, I went straight for appearances. And yeah, Luo Hua is. He's fine looking, I guess. Like a solid 6. Maybe a 6.5 on a good day. But next to me? Sorry, buddy. He was about to explode, but then I saw him physically calm himself down. He walked over with this smug energy and said, all you've got left is that sharp tongue. My bonded beast is a blue moon greedy wolf, hatched at level 3. And it's a mutant beast. Oh, and that Southern Sky Academy spot that was supposed to be yours? It's mine now. I looked at him for a long second, then said, oh, oh. The look on his face was priceless. He wanted me to cry, to beg, to be devastated. And I gave him the energy of someone being told the weather forecast. He huffed and stomped away to watch the fight. Look, I've got an azure dragon in caterpillar form and an invincible evolution system. You think I care about his little wolf? That's cute. That's really cute. I summoned my caterpillar onto my shoulder. It appeared in a flash of green light looking like it hadn't eaten in a week. Which mood? Down in the arena, a fight was going on, a Luo family guy with a giant wolf versus a Bai family guy with a fire lion. Classic rivalry matchup. The Luo guy extended his spiritual energy, formed some kind of amplification array with hand signs, and his wolf went berserk. Speed boost, power boost, the whole package. The wolf howled like it was auditioning for a werewolf movie and launched itself at the lion with wind under its paws. The fire lion shot back with its special move, triple fireball. 3 fireballs the size of bowls flew straight at the wolf. Then the Luo guy screamed the most ridiculous battle command I've ever heard. Iron head, copper bones, tofu waste. I don't even know what that means, but apparently the wolf did, because it twisted its body at the last second, dodging the fireballs from hitting anything vital. 2 of them smacked it right in the butt, which, ouch, but the wolf powered through the pain and slashed the lion right across the face. The lion went flying into the arena wall. The Bai family guy immediately surrendered and ran over to check on his crispy-faced cat. The crowd went nuts. People who bet on the wolf were celebrating, people who bet on the lion were cursing, and somewhere in the middle, I'm pretty sure someone was getting pickpocketed. Luo Hua puffed up like a proud rooster. See? The Bai family is nothing. They think they can compete with us? I couldn't help myself. You should say that to Bai Chio's face when you get to Southern Sky Academy. He deflated instantly, like a balloon someone sat on. Because Bai Chio, that's the Bai family's actual genius, had absolutely destroyed every young fighter in the city during the academy entrance exam. Made grown kids cry for their mamas. She's been at Southern Sky Academy for 2 years now, and she's already famous there. Luo Hua's tough guy energy evaporated so fast it probably set a world record. Why are you hyping up the enemy and putting down your own family? He sputtered. I'm just saying. If you've got the guts, say it to her face. I gave him a look, then walked out. As I was leaving, I heard him mutter behind me, "Well, you can't go to the academy anyway, so mind your own business." Real brave, kid. Real brave. Say that when Baichio isn't 200 miles away. Anyway, I had bigger problems. I stood outside the box, staring at the arena, thinking hard. How do I get evolution points? During that entire wolf versus lion fight, my system didn't react at all. Not a blip. So just watching fights doesn't work. This is an sit back and collect free loot kind of system. Which is annoying but fair, I guess. But does that mean I have to fight myself? With my caterpillar? My underdeveloped, below level 1, perpetually hungry baby caterpillar? One strong breeze would send it flying into next week. I paced around muttering key words: bonded beast, monster beasts, arena fight, victory, surrender, surrender, wait, surrender. My eyes lit up like fireworks. I clapped my hands together so hard it echoed down the hallway. If this works, if this actually works, then I, Luo Tianya, am truly the greatest genius who ever lived. I ran downstairs laughing like a madman. Behind me, the two bodyguards watched me go, looked at each other, and I just know one of them said, "Has this kid finally lost it?" No, boys. I just found the cheat code to the cheat code. I walked out of the arena and stood at the front gate, rubbing my chin like an evil genius. Which, honestly, I kind of am at this point. Now, who should I experiment on? I watched the street, looking for the perfect test subjects. And then, like the universe was handing me a gift, a whole flood of people came pouring out of the arena. These were the gamblers, the losers, the guys who just bet their grocery money on the wrong beast and now looked like someone ran over their dog. Some of them literally looked like they were about to cry. Perfect. I jumped in front of them. "Hey guys, quick question, who the F?" One of them started, already rolling up his sleeves to throw hands. Then they saw my face, and the sleeves came right back down. "Luo, young master law, I'm so sorry, I didn't mean." The sweary guy was suddenly drowning in his own cold sweat, bowing and apologizing like his life depended on it. Which, I mean, it kind of did. I gave them my friendliest smile. "Relax, relax. I just need a little favor." They all looked at each other like, what could this rich kid possibly need from us? I pulled them aside so we weren't blocking the entrance, summoned my caterpillar onto my palm, and said, "Here's the deal. Everyone summon your bonded beasts, do exactly what I tell you, and each of you gets one white crystal stone." You'd think I told them they won the lottery. One white crystal stone is a whole month of food money for these guys. They practically trampled each other trying to get to the front of the line. "Calm down. Form a line. One at a time." I had to scream at them while backing up to avoid being crushed by a stampede of desperate broke gamblers. ACT crazy again, and the deals OFF. They formed the most beautiful, orderly queue I've ever seen in about 3 seconds flat. Then they just stood there staring at me with big, hopeful puppy eyes. I looked at them. They looked at me. Money really does make the world go round, huh? First up was a young guy. He summoned his bonded beast, a white rabbit with red eyes. It sat there on the ground, looking confused about life. Relatable. "Pick it up," I said. He did. Now we were standing face to face, me holding my caterpillar, him holding his bunny. Like two guys about to have the world's lamest Pokemon battle. "What level is your rabbit?" I asked. "Level 5, he said, looking kind of depressed. "No potential to go higher. Don't have the resources." And okay, I know I was here for an experiment, but something about the way he said it just hit me. This guy was young. He'd basically given up on life and was spending his last coins gambling at the arena. So I opened my big mouth. "My bonded beast is a caterpillar that didn't even reach level 1. My family is cutting off my resources. And I'm still out here fighting for a way forward." "You're young. Why did you just give up?" "You wouldn't understand," he shot back. "You rich family kids don't know what it's like for us common. Maybe I don't know your struggles." I cut him off. "But I do know that the money you're throwing away on beast fight bets would be better spent actually improving yourself. Your bonded beast has no potential? Fine. Work on its unique traits instead. Develop different abilities. Who knows, maybe that'll unlock a way to level up." The whole crowd went silent. A bunch of them lowered their heads, ashamed. The young guy clenched his jaw so hard I thought he'd crack a tooth, and I saw tears sliding down his face. Meanwhile, the arena guards standing nearby were giving me the stinkiest stink eye ever, because I was basically telling their customers to stop coming. Yeah, Sorry guys, I'm accidentally destroying your business model. My bad. Anyway, I clapped my hands. Enough motivational speeches. Let's do this experiment. The young guy wiped his tears and looked at me. What do you need us to do? I looked down at my caterpillar. It was still lying in my palm, doing absolutely nothing. Like a furry little couch potato. I whispered, begin battle, to activate the system's combat mode. Then I looked up and said, tell your bonded beast to surrender. Then you say I surrender too, huh? Everyone froze. Dead silence. You could hear a cricket chirp. Actually, no, my caterpillar might have eaten the cricket. They were all looking at me like I'd asked them to bark like dogs. This is what you're paying us for. To just surrender? To a caterpillar? Before the fight even starts? I didn't care what they thought. The young guy was just standing there with his mouth open. Hello? You want the money or not? Say the words. That snapped him out of it. Money talks, weird requests walk. He told his rabbit to surrender, then said, I surrender, himself. And then, oh. My system lit up. I could feel it. Something registered. Something worked. I started shaking. My eyes went wide. My hands were trembling. And then I burst out laughing like a complete maniac. Full-on villain cackling right there in the street. Behind me, I could hear the crowd whispering. Yep, he's definitely lost his mind. The shock was too much for him. Such a waste. He could have been the next Baichio. Shoo. Keep it down. They thought I was having a mental breakdown. But what they didn't know, what nobody knew, was that my experiment just worked. I found the bug, the glitch, the loophole. The system counts surrenders as victories. My caterpillar didn't have to fight. It didn't have to win. It just had to be present when someone surrendered. That's it. That's the whole trick. I basically just discovered that the invincible evolution system has a cheat code, and the cheat code is paying people to lose to a caterpillar. I am, without question, the greatest genius this world has ever seen. Yes, it worked. It actually worked. After that first guy surrendered, I checked my system and the evolution points went from 0 to 6. Not 1. 6. I did the math real quick. My caterpillar is level 0. His rabbit was level 5. So the bigger the gap between levels, the more points I get. It's like getting bonus XP for beating a boss. Except the boss just handed me the win and I paid him for it. My eyes were glowing brighter than a 2,000-watt light bulb. I waved the guard over, tossed him my money bag, and told him to hand out 1 white crystal stone to each person who finished. The first young guy took his stone quietly and just stood off to the side. Didn't leave. Still holding his rabbit. Weird, but whatever. Next up was a middle-aged dude. He'd watched the whole process, so he was a total pro already. Summoned his level 4 hedgehog, said, I surrender, grabbed his crystal, and walked straight back into the arena to gamble some more. And you know what? I didn't say anything. His life, his choices. I already gave 1 motivational speech today. I'm not running a self-help seminar. The rest of the line went smooth. Half an hour later, all 30-something people were done, and my evolution points? Let's just say the number was beautiful. I was grinning so hard my face hurt. The last person in line was this big, thick, lovable lug named Dazhuang. I actually knew this guy. We used to hang out when we were kids before I turned 12. He's a bit simple. Not stupid, just honest to a fault. The kind of guy who'd share his last meal with you and then forget to eat. Back in the day, I used to protect him from bullies because, well, someone had to. He summoned his bonded beast, a wild boar. Classic Dazhuang. After the surrender bit was done, he flashed me this big, goofy grin and immediately started heading back into the arena. I kicked him. Not hard, but enough to make a point. Dazhuang, if you go in there and gamble, I will break 3 of your legs. I'm not gambling. I just want to watch the beasts fight. I don't care what you're doing in there. The ticket alone costs your mom half a month of doing other people's laundry. That money isn't yours to waste. He dodged my second kick, so he's not that dumb, and explained he'd found money on the street this morning, just enough for a ticket, so he came to watch. Fine, but no next time. If you want to see beast fights, come find me first. I looked around to make sure nobody was watching, pulled out my money bag, still had about a dozen crystal stones left, glanced at the young guy with the rabbit still standing there for some reason, ignored him, and stuffed the entire bag into Dazhuang's shirt. Hide this. Don't let anyone see. I tugged his clothes to cover the bag properly. He just stood there staring at me with his big dumb eyes. Go home. Your mom's waiting for dinner. He started walking away. Then he stopped, turned around, and with the most genuine, sunshine smile I've ever seen on a human face, he said, Tianya, you've always been a genius. Before, now, and forever. Get out of here. I pretended to kick at him again. He laughed his big dopey laugh and jogged off. I turned away and wiped my eye. Just dust. Definitely just dust. Shut up. Okay, so I was about to head home to finally use my evolution points when, young Master Law, please take me in. Thud. The young guy with the rabbit dropped to his knees right there in the street. Dada what? Please, I'm begging you. I don't want to waste my life anymore. Let me follow you. I stared at him for a solid minute. Dude, you realize I'm the guy everyone just gave up on, right? Following me might get you absolutely nothing. I've made up my mind. Please, young master. His eyes were burning with determination. I could tell. It wasn't just my little speech from earlier. He'd also seen what I did with Dazhuang. He saw the real me, not the fallen genius everyone was laughing about. And honestly, the guy was making a bet. Following me couldn't possibly make his life worse than it already was. I looked at him for a long time. Then I said, get up. And remember this, my first rule. He looked at me, waiting. From now on, you kneel to no one except your parents and elders. Not to me, not to any lord, not even to heaven and earth itself. Nothing in this world is worth your knees. The guards nearby practically choked. Even the young guy looked like lightning struck his brain. Yeah, I know, big words from a guy with a caterpillar. But I meant every single one. Yes, sir. He stood up and bowed. All right, introduce yourself. My name is Xiao Bai, 22 years old. Bonded beast is this white rabbit, level 5. I live alone. How long have you been stuck at level 5? His face got sad. For years. She went from level 1 to 5 in just 3 years. But then, nothing. I poured everything I had into leveling her up. Nothing worked. That was weird. Level 1 to 5 in 3 years is actually good. That's faster than average. Which means this rabbit has decent potential. So why would it just stop? Normally, level 5 is the first big wall. Break through it and your beast unlocks its first innate ability, like the fireball technique and the steel claws I saw in the arena earlier. But this rabbit had been stuck for 4 years? With resources being poured into it? Something didn't add up. Can I take a look at your rabbit? Sure. He held it out. I reached out and touched the bunny. Instantly, the system generated a stats panel in my mind. I focused on it, and my eyes went wide. I almost dropped the rabbit. See, when I touched Xiao Bai's bunny, my system did something I didn't expect. It scanned the rabbit and pulled up a full stats panel. I didn't even know it could do that for other people's beasts. And what I saw nearly made my eyeballs fall out. Species, Taoya type. Taoya, as in the legendary devourer of all things. One of the 9 sons of the dragon from ancient mythology. The beast that can swallow anything. And this guy's been walking around with it disguised as a fluffy white bunny. It had already unlocked a divine ability too, gluttony. Most beasts don't get their first ability until level 6, but this little rabbit figured it out at level 3. And the reason it's been stuck at level 5 for 4 years? The status line said it all. Can't eat enough. No energy to level up. Of course. A Taoya needs massive amounts of energy to grow. Xiao Bai's been feeding it regular people portions when this thing needs an all-you-can-eat buffet the size of a football field. For about 2 seconds I was burning with jealousy. Then I remembered. Oh right, my caterpillar is an azure dragon. We're good. We're very good. I wanted to tell Xiao Bai everything right there, but I held back. I barely know this guy. He seems genuine, but I need to check him out first before I hand over information this valuable. So I made up an excuse about needing to look through my family's library for similar cases and sent him home. He left looking so grateful I almost felt guilty. Almost. I mean, I'm not refusing to help him. I'm just delaying. Strategically. Also a Taoya-type beast? I've read every beast record in my family's collection and never seen one mentioned. There's no way I'm letting someone else snatch this guy away from me. Xiao Bai is my follower now. Mine. No refunds. But first things first. Time to evolve my caterpillar. I practically skipped home singing some ridiculous battle song at the top of my lungs. I've got a shooting star blade in my hand, shouting my battle cry across the land. State your name if you dare, try to run, and I'll be there. Yeah, I'm sure the whole neighborhood thought I'd completely lost it. Back at my courtyard in the Luo estate, I kicked out every maid, locked every door, and summoned my caterpillar with the biggest, creepiest grin on my face. Today, little buddy, you officially begin your journey to godhood. And I, Lua Tianya, reclaim my title as genius. If anyone had seen me right then, giggling like a weirdo while stroking a caterpillar, my reputation as a crazy person would have been permanently cemented. Okay, deep breath. Focus. I checked my evolution points. 130. 30-something surrenders, each one giving points based on level difference. Not bad for an afternoon's work and a bag of crystal stones. I pressed the evolve button. Used 1 point. Nothing happened. Used 2 more points. The caterpillar rolled over. That's it. Just rolled over. Used 4 more points. Still nothing. Are you kidding me? I wanted to reach into my own brain and slap the system. Invincible evolution system? More like useless evolution system. What am I even evolving here? It's laziness. After screaming at the ceiling for a while, I calmed down and checked the caterpillar's stats. Species: Azure Dragon type. Level: unranked. Abilities: none. Status: congenital developmental deficiency. Very hungry. Wait. Very hungry. Before it said, extremely hungry. So, the points did do something. They just fed my caterpillar. That's IT. I spent 7 points to make a caterpillar slightly less hungry. Okay. Deep breath. This is an Azure Dragon. A divine beast. Of course it's expensive to raise. It's like buying a Ferrari. You don't complain about the gas bill. Actually, you do, but you still pay it. So I kept going. And I started tracking the pattern. 1 point, then 2, then 4, then 6. Next would be 8. The cost was increasing every time. This system was eating my points faster than the Taotia rabbit eats its dinner. 8 points gone. Status changed to a little hungry. Progress. Gritting my teeth, I slammed 10 more, then 12 more. 22 points just to finally delete the word hungry from its status. The congenital developmental deficiency text got slightly dimmer though, so that was something. I looked at my caterpillar. It was actually standing up now, not just lying there like a fuzzy slug. Its big round eyes were staring at me, and I could feel its happiness through our bond. Its little antennae touched my finger. Hee. I couldn't help smiling like an idiot. 2 more rounds, 30 points gone. The caterpillar grew bigger, like noticeably bigger, and the congenital developmental deficiency text was fading fast, getting blurry and hard to read. More. 18 points, and something incredible happened. Its 2 antennae started curving, bending backward and downward, forming little loops on top of its head, almost like tiny horns. Dragon horns. The deficiency text was nearly invisible now, just a faint shadow. 1 last push. 20 points. Boom. Congenital developmental deficiency, gone. Completely erased. And my caterpillar's antennae had fully curled into shape. 2 elegant little curves sitting on top of its head, unmistakably, undeniably looking like the horns of a dragon. Total cost, 130 points. My entire stash. Every single point from this afternoon. But sitting in my palm was no longer a pathetic, starving, worthless little bug. It was a caterpillar with dragon horns. And it was only the beginning. More. Give me more. I was mashing that evolve button like a kid smashing candy out of a piñata. Then, beep. Insufficient evolution points. Buzzkill. I had 19 points left, but the next evolution needed 22. So close. But whatever. Easy fix. I'll just call my maids in and have them surrender to my caterpillar. Infinite points, baby. But first, let me admire my work. I pulled up the caterpillar's stats. Species: Azure Dragon type. Level: unranked. Abilities: none. Status: normal. Excited: normal. No more starving. No more birth defect. Just a healthy, happy, horn-growing caterpillar who was pumped about life. And honestly, same. I threw open my door, called all 4 maids back in, and told them to summon their bonded beasts. They looked confused but obeyed. Perks of being a young master. People just do what you say without asking why. I ran through the whole process. Summoned my caterpillar. Said, begin battle. Had them surrender. Check my points. Still 19. Tried the next maid. Still 19. Third maid. Fourth maid. 19. 19. 19. Is it because they're women? I started panicking, running through variables in my head like a scientist whose experiment just exploded. Last time it was all guys. Maybe the system is sexist? I sent the maids to fetch some male guards, pacing around my room, muttering theories. Maybe it has to be at the arena? Maybe there's a location requirement? Maybe. Stop guessing. The bug's been patched. I leaped 3 feet in the air. Who said that? I spun around. Nobody. The maids were gone. The room was empty. Just me and my caterpillar. I'm the Invincible Evolution System's assistant spirit. I'm in your head, genius. I slammed the door shut and looked at my system interface. Floating above it was a cat. A smug, lazy, paw-licking cat, just hovering there like it owned the place. The system has artificial intelligence. I was shook. This thing had been dead silent since activation, and now it decides to show up? What can you do? I asked suspiciously. Call me Spirit Sama, it said, barely glancing at me. And I basically just answer questions. Can't boost your power or anything useful like that. Then explain why my cheat code stopped working. The cat gave me the most condescending look a feline has ever given a human, and that's saying a lot. The Invincible Evolution System was created by a supreme being to help the chosen host grow through real combat. Your little pay people to surrender trick? Yeah, that's not allowed. You exploited a loophole. The loophole has been closed. But, however, the cat continued, since you did discover the bug, the points you already earned won't be taken back. Consider yourself lucky. But try that stun again and you'll get nothing. When other people find bugs in systems, they get rewards. I protested. Where's my reward? The cat licked its paw again. This thing licks its paw more than it breathes. This is your reward. Me. Normally you'd have to figure out the entire system by yourself. But since you found the bug, congratulations, you get a Q&A assistant. You're welcome. I wanted to argue, but the maids knocked on the door. I snapped out of my mental conversation, let them in with the 4 guards, and tried the surrender trick one more time. Nothing. 0 points. The cat was right. The glorious exploit that was going to rocket me to the top was dead. I sent everyone away, collapsed onto my bed, and stared at the ceiling with the enthusiasm of a dead fish. Any more questions? If not, I'm taking a nap, the cat said. I dragged myself back into my mind space. Fine. If the cheat code is gone, at least let me squeeze some useful info out of this furball. So evolution points can only come from real beast combat now. Yep. Only way. And beating higher level opponents gives bonus points. Figured as much. Okay, next question. I'd been dying to ask this one. Why did Xiao Bai's rabbit hatch normally and grow just fine, while MY Beast came out premature and broken? His rabbit is a Taoya, one of the 9 dragon children. How come the legendary dragon has more problems than the legendary glutton? The cat actually gave a real answer for once. Exotic beasts and divine beasts work differently. Exotic beasts care more about soul compatibility with their host. If the match is good, hatching is smooth and growth is fast. But divine beasts, the cat's voice got serious. Divine beasts carry divine authority. They can command heaven and earth itself and draw on limitless natural energy. The requirements for birth and growth are on a completely different scale. The cat looked straight at me. And your Azure Dragon? If it reaches its full potential, it becomes one of the 5 supreme divine beasts, one of a kind in all existence. Its authority would dwarf ordinary divine beasts. Well, that shut me up real fast. 5 supreme divine beasts. And I've got one of them. In caterpillar form, with baby dragon horns. On my shoulder. Hurry up, I'm running out of time. I can only appear for a few minutes each day. The cat was getting translucent, fading fast. One more question. Can I use evolution points on other people's beasts? Like, hypothetically, a rabbit that's stuck at level 5? No. You don't have that permission yet. And POF, the cat vanished. Great. Just great. I sighed. So I can't help Xiao Bai's Taoya rabbit with my system. Gotta find another way. I flopped back on my bed, processing everything. No more cheating. Real fights only. My caterpillar has dragon horns, but is still technically level 0. I've got a snarky cat living in my head that only shows up for 5 minutes a day. And somewhere out there, a supreme being apparently created this whole system on a whim just to see what I'd do with it. So I'm not even the main character of my own story, I groaned. I'm some god science project. But then again, how many science projects get handed a divine dragon and a cheat system? I'll take it. Meanwhile, in some unknown dimension, a white cat tore through the fabric of space, appeared in a void, licked its paw, again, and mumbled to itself. That kid's talent is something else. Azure Dragon species. Nobody on the entire continent can match him. The cat's gaze pierced through layers of reality, across the void, down to a floating continent, and landed on a certain 15-year-old boy lying on his bed looking grumpy. Strange though, why does this Luatieno's face look so much like that supreme being? I stared at my caterpillar sitting in my palm and had a very honest conversation with myself. Buddy, you can't fight anything. It's true. Level 0. Body made entirely of squishy meat. No claws, no fangs, no fire breath, no nothing. If I sent this thing into a fight against a level 1 beast, it would get flattened like a pancake. A cute pancake with dragon horns, but still a pancake. My brilliant backup plan. Go find a wild newborn beast that's also below level 1. Beat it up myself first, then throw my caterpillar in at the last second to steal the win. Like a tag team where I do all the work. But there's a tiny problem with that plan. I'm also level 0. My bonded beast hasn't leveled up, which means I haven't leveled up either. There's a very real chance the baby monster would beat me up instead. Or worse, its parents would show up and absolutely destroy me. I can already see the headline. Fallen genius beaten to death by angry monster mom while holding caterpillar. The only thing I've got going for me is soul power. But soul power without a combat technique is like having a Ferrari engine with no car around it. The only thing people use spiritual energy for around here is amplifying their bonded beasts during fights. Actual spiritual attack techniques? Super rare. Definitely not available in this backwater city. I tried sending my soul power at a flower vase on my desk just to test. It just slid right off like water on a duck. Useless without proper technique. Then it hit me, like a bolt of lightning to my beautiful face. Wait. My soul power is beyond level 9. That means I can form companion beast contracts right now. Normally, you need your bonded beast to hit level 6 before your spiritual power is strong enough to contract a companion beast. But my soul power already skipped past level 9 thanks to the system upgrade. I might even be able to contract too. The plan formed instantly in my head. Get a companion beast that can actually fight, use it to beat other beasts, then swoop in with my caterpillar at the end to collect the evolution points. Let the companion do the heavy lifting while my caterpillar takes all the credit. It's not cheating. It's strategy. I grabbed my caterpillar, snatched a money bag, and sprinted to the beast trading market in the south side of town. Now, quick note about this place. It's kind of messed up. Humans are the dominant species on this continent thanks to bonded beasts, so regular monsters get treated as, well, tools. Hunters go into the monster forest, capture beasts, and sell them here. And if a beast refuses to sign a companion contract, they use something called a demonic sound contract, basically torture noise that blasts inside the beast's head non-stop until it mentally breaks down and agrees. Yeah, not great. Not great at all. The market was mostly low-level beasts, nothing above level 6. My family used to hook me up with premium beasts, but ever since my fall from grace, they cut all my resources. No spirit liquid, no crystals, no high-level beast contracts. All I have is the savings I squirreled away during my 3 years as the golden boy. Back then the clan paid me a monthly allowance and I never spent any of it. Past me was a financial genius. So here I was, strolling through rows of caged beasts with my caterpillar on my shoulder, touching every interesting one I could reach to scan them with my system. Most were generic low-level monsters. Nothing special. Some of the nastier ones tried to bite me when I reached for them, so I wisely kept my fingers attached to my hands for those. After walking for ages, both me and my caterpillar were exhausted. The little guy was draped across my shoulder like a wet noodle, completely over this shopping trip. Then I saw something different. Every other caged beast in this market was either raging against its cage like a maniac or sitting in the corner with dead, hopeless eyes. Standard captured animal behavior. But this one little monkey? It was sitting with its knees pulled up to its chest, arms wrapped around its legs, staring straight ahead with the most calm, dignified expression I'd ever seen on a beast. Completely still, completely composed. And every few seconds, a tiny flash of gold flickered through its eyes. Now that's interesting. I crouched down and asked the vendor, "Hey boss, what kind of monkey is this?" It seems special. The vendor was this middle-aged guy with a long beard and the eyes of a man who'd sell his own grandma for the right price. The second I asked about the monkey, he rolled up his sleeves and launched into the most ridiculous story I've ever heard. According to him, he fought the monkey's parents for 300 rounds. From the forest to the sky, from the sky back to the ground. The shockwaves of their battle flattened most of the monster forest. It caused a full-scale beast stampede, 10,000 beasts running wild. And then, alone, he fought off the stampede and the monkey's parents, single-handedly preventing a catastrophe that would have wiped out the entire city. He was waving his arms around, spit flying everywhere, painting himself as the secret guardian hero of Maple Leaf City. I let him finish. Then I said, "Heh. Just, heh," with the flattest, most unimpressed face I could manage, arms crossed, looking down at him. And my caterpillar, bless its little heart, copied me perfectly. It stood up on my shoulder, crossed its tiny stubby arms the best it could, and stared at the vendor with its big round eyes full of pure skepticism. We were a matching set of, "We don't believe a single word you just said." The vendor's heroic speech died in his throat. Heh, heh heh. He laughed nervously, completely deflated. "No, please, keep going," I said with the sweetest, most poisonous smile. It was very entertaining, like a bedtime story. All right, I'll drop the act." The vendor straightened up, stroked his long beard, and pointed at the little monkey. "Look, I didn't fight any epic battles for this thing, but I did snatch it up before anyone else could. Fair price, 2 green crystal stones." I ignored him completely and crouched down to stare at the monkey through the cage bars. This little guy was fascinating. Even with me literally inches from its face, it didn't flinch. Didn't look at me. Didn't move. Just sat there, hugging its knees, staring into the distance like a tiny monk having a spiritual crisis. Every beast I'd seen today was either angry or broken. This one was at peace. "Can I touch it?" The vendor shrugged. "Sure, but if it bites your hand off, that's a you problem." "Deal." He unlocked the cage using this special spiritual energy key. These beast cages can only be opened by the owner's unique spiritual signature, so even if someone steals the cage, they can't open it. Pretty clever, honestly. The cage swung open. The monkey didn't move, didn't even glance at freedom, just kept sitting there, vibing. My heart was pounding as I slowly reached in. My fingers touched its soft fur, and the system exploded in my brain. I nearly screamed. I nearly fainted. If I hadn't spent 2 lifetimes building up mental fortitude and had soul-level spiritual power, holding my poker face together, I would have absolutely lost it right there in the middle of the market. Here's what I saw. Species, 6-eared macaque, born of heaven and earth. Cosmic anomaly. The only one. Level 1. Divine ability. Listen to all things. Innate divine ability. Currently self-sealed. Status. Has voluntarily sealed its own divine ability. Lost in its own inner world. 6-eared macaque. For those who don't know, and I cannot believe I have to explain this, the 6-eared macaque is from Journey to the West. It's the creature that disguised itself as Sun Wukong so perfectly that nobody in heaven could tell them apart. Not the gods, not the bodhisattvas, not anyone. Only Buddha himself figured it out. It fought the Monkey King to a standstill. And it's sitting in a 10 crystal stone cage in a bargain bin beast market. I don't know if this monkey is connected to the one from the legends, but just look at that stats panel. Born of heaven and earth, the only one. It awakened an innate divine ability at level 1. That's even more insane than Xiao Bai's Taoye Rabbit, which didn't get its ability until level 3. And the ability, listen to all things. From the legends, skilled in hearing, able to perceive truth, knowing past and future, all things laid bare. This monkey can literally hear the secrets of the universe. It sealed the ability itself. On purpose. A level 1 monkey decided its own god-tier hearing was too much and just turned it off. That's why it's sitting so quietly. It shut out the entire world because it could hear too much. I was frozen solid. Hand on monkey. Brain melting. The vendor got worried and shoved me. "Hey, you okay? Did it scare you, stupid?" I snapped back to reality and went full Oscar-winning performance mode. Casually pulled my hand back and said, "Oh, it's just so calm. It made me zone out for a second. Smooth. Totally smooth. Nobody suspected a thing." The vendor grinned. "So, you like it? 2 green crystal stones, and it's yours." I laughed in his face. "You think I'm an idiot? This monkey has no special abilities. It's skinny as a stick, and it's only level 1. If it's a baby, that's bottom-tier talent. If it's an adult at level 1, you're charging me 2 green crystals for a retired monkey. The vendor's confident smile crumbled. He'd been trying to rip off the rich kid in fancy clothes. But this rich kid grew up reading beast manuals for fun. Okay, you know your stuff, he said, switching to his sad face routine. 1 green crystal then? I had to carry it all the way from the forest. 100 white crystals, I said. That's 1/10 of a green crystal. 100, he nearly backflipped off his stool. That's basically free. I laid out my case like a lawyer. You picked this monkey up off the ground for free. It does nothing. It moves less than a rock. Nobody else wants it. I'm literally the only buyer stupid enough to consider a level 1 decorative monkey. Do you see a line of customers behind me? No. Then take the deal. He had nothing. Every word was true. This monkey had been sitting in his stall unsold because who would buy a tiny, motionless, level 1 monkey that refuses to do anything? Nobody comes to a beast market looking for a paperweight. Fine, but 100 is still 10 white crystals. Final offer. I counted out 10 stones and put them on the counter. His face twitched. 10 is really. I scooped up the crystals and started to stand. Wait. He grabbed my arm like a drowning man. Deal. 10. Sold. He shoved the monkey into my arms and held out his hands for the crystals. I dropped them into his palms. As I walked away, I turned back and smiled. Boss, remember today. This moment might end up in the history books of the entire continent. He stared at me, baffled, then shook his head. Nah, there's no way that scrawny little monkey is anything special. Oh, buddy. Oh, you sweet, foolish man. You just sold me a one-of-a-kind cosmic anomaly for the price of lunch. I walked through the market hugging my new monkey with the biggest, dumbest grin on my face. People were literally crossing the street to avoid me. I looked unhinged. A pretty boy with a caterpillar on his shoulder and a tiny, motionless monkey in his arms, giggling to himself. Yeah, I'd avoid me too. I headed straight to the contract hall. It's this building where beast tamers can rent private rooms to form companion beast contracts. They also sell those demonic sound contracts I mentioned, the ones that basically torture beasts into submission. 1 private room, please. 5 white crystals. And would you like a demonic sound contract? Very effective for stubborn beasts. I gave the clerk the coldest look I had. No, he shut up. But I know the second I turned around, he was back there talking trash. Huffed. Good luck contracting that pathetic monkey without help. Rich boy. Whatever. I'm not using that disgusting thing on my 6-eared macaque. Forcing a contract with sound torture would definitely damage it somehow, and I'm not risking that. Besides, with soul power beyond level 9, I'm pretty sure I can convince this little guy the old-fashioned way. I walked into my room, closed the door, and looked at the monkey in my arms. Time to make a new friend. I sat down cross-legged on the cushion in my rented room, held the little monkey up to my face, and gave it a proper inspection. 6-eared macaque. 6 ears. So where are the other 4? I squinted so hard my eyes almost turned inside out. And there they were, 2 tiny little bumps under each regular ear. Barely visible. Like baby earbuds that haven't finished downloading yet. Probably hasn't grown them out fully because it's still a newborn, I figured. Then my caterpillar decided it was social hour. It slid off my shoulder, crawled down my arm like a fuzzy little slinky, and stopped right in front of the monkey. It stared at the monkey with those big goofy eyes, gathering courage, building confidence. Finally, boop, it touched the monkey with its glowing horn antenna. The monkey did not react. At all. Not even a blink. Just sat there hugging its knees like a tiny, depressed philosopher. My caterpillar turned back to me with the most devastated expression I've ever seen on an insect. Its eyes were basically saying, Dad, it doesn't like me. It's fine, it's just shy. Once I complete the contract, you guys will be best friends. All right, contract time. Let's do this. I put the monkey on my knees, formed the hand signs for a companion beast contract, fingers weaving, interlocking, soul power flowing out, and created a glowing white contract array floating above the monkey's head. Go. The array descended, enveloped the monkey in light, and then phased right through its body and dissolved into nothing. Contract rejected. The monkey didn't even acknowledge it happened. I stared at the tiny monkey, completely baffled. Then I remembered its system status, has voluntarily sealed its own divine ability. Lost in its own world. I get it now. Think about it. This monkey was born with the ability to hear everything. Everything. Every whisper, every thought, every blade of grass growing, every ant's footstep, every conversation on the entire continent, all pouring into its brain the second it was born. That's not a superpower, that's a nightmare. Imagine being born and immediately having the entire internet downloaded directly into your skull with no mute button. No wonder it shut down. It sealed its own hearing and retreated into its own mind just to survive. It's not ignoring the world because it's rude. It literally can't process the world without going insane. Being from the information age, I immediately recognized this. Information overload. And the solution? Information filtering. But how do you teach a traumatized baby monkey to filter cosmic-level sensory input? I paced around the room, thinking hard. My caterpillar watched me go back and forth like a tiny spectator at a tennis match. Information filtering. Interception. Classification. Selection. Then I had an idea. A stupid, caveman simple idea. But sometimes stupid works. I gathered random objects from around the room. A teacup, a piece of wood, a flower vase, and some incense. I put them all in front of the monkey. Then I poured soul power over the little guy to wake it up a bit. Its eyes flickered. A flash of gold. It actually looked at the objects. Gee, it chirped, confused, glancing at me. It responded. My soul power pulled it out of its shell. Now for the teaching part. I pushed everything away except the incense. Slowly, deliberately. Then I picked up the incense and held it in front of the monkey's face. These things, I said, gesturing at the scattered objects, you don't want. Push them away. I gripped the incense tight. This one? I want this. So I hold it. I did it again. And again. And again. Gather objects. Push away the unwanted ones. Keep the one you want. Over and over and over. Like the world's most repetitive kindergarten teacher. Push away. Keep. Push away. Keep. Push away. Keep. My voice started going hoarse. My soul power was draining. I was running on pure stubbornness at this point. Even my caterpillar looked bored, and it has the attention span of a ZH. I snapped awake. The monkey was alive, jumping around, scratching its head, bouncing off the walls, absolutely electric with excitement. Wait, did it actually work? The monkey stopped, stood perfectly still, closed its eyes, made some mysterious gesture with its tiny hand, and touched its own forehead. A wave of energy rippled outward from the monkey like a stone dropped in water. I felt a breeze. And then something clicked. A connection, like a phone line opening between our minds. I could feel it. The monkey could hear me. Not my voice, my thoughts. Hey, little monkey, nice to meet you, I said in my head, grinning. The monkey's eyes flew open. It looked at me with pure, sparkling joy, like I was the first voice it had ever chosen to hear. Meanwhile, my caterpillar was sitting on my shoulder looking utterly lost. It couldn't feel any connection at all. It just watched me and the monkey having a silent bonding moment, completely left out. Translation. Hello? I'm still here. I pointed at my caterpillar and looked at the monkey. The monkey nodded, closed its eyes, and sent another wave toward the caterpillar. But this time, it was different. The monkey could hear the caterpillar's thoughts, but the caterpillar couldn't hear the monkey back. One-way listening. The monkey started making gestures, acting out what it heard from the caterpillar's mind. My caterpillar's face went through about 17 emotions in 2 seconds. Confused, surprised, mind-blown, overjoyed. Its horn antennae were vibrating, and its little front legs were waving around like it was doing a victory dance. How does something with no facial muscles have more expressions than most humans? I muttered. So the listen to all things ability has 2 modes. One-way eavesdropping and two-way communication. The monkey chose to open a two-way channel with me, but only listen one way to the caterpillar. Smart little guy. It figured out information filtering from my terrible, repetitive demonstration. Push away what you don't need, keep what you want. Apply that to its divine hearing, and suddenly it can choose what to listen to instead of being drowned by everything it wants. Truly one of the 4 great divine monkeys, I said, genuinely impressed. It figured out the truth from my absolute garbage tier teaching. I was basically doing a preschool puppet show, and this monkey extracted the secrets of the universe from it. I watched my caterpillar and the 6-eared macaque chit-chat in their little animal language for a while. Zhi, ing, back and forth like 2 old ladies gossiping at a tea shop. Adorable, but we had business to handle. All right, you two, Social hour is over. We still need to do the contract. I looked at the monkey nervously. This was the big moment. Would it agree? If it said no, I'd have to spend weeks befriending it with snacks and belly rubs, and I did not have that kind of time. Southern Sky Academy enrollment was coming up fast. Little 6 years. Will you sign a contract with me? The monkey looked at me, looked at my caterpillar, then just placed its tiny hand on mine and nodded. Just like that. No drama. No hesitation. Deal. I was shook. I expected negotiations. A PowerPoint presentation about why I'm a worthy partner. Maybe a trial period. But nope. Turns out when you save someone from eternal sensory hell, they're pretty grateful. Made sense though. This poor little guy was born hearing everything in existence with no off switch. I taught it how to use a mental mute button in one afternoon. That's apparently worth a lifetime contract. Fair trade, honestly. I sat down, placed the monkey on my knees, and formed the contract array. White light descended over 6 years, and this time, it didn't just phase through. The monkey opened its arms and welcomed it. Then everything went wrong. My soul power started pouring out of me like someone pulled a drain plug on my soul ocean. Fast. Way too fast. My vision started blurring. My head was spinning. Why is this taking so much energy? Normal companion beast contracts barely use any spiritual power. Level 6 people do it all the time without breaking a sweat. But this felt like the monkey was drinking my entire soul through a straw. Then I remembered, oh right, this isn't a normal monkey. This is a one-of-a-kind cosmic anomaly born from heaven and earth itself, with pure divine bloodline and an innate god-tier ability. Of course, the contract costs more than a regular beast. That's like being surprised a Lamborghini costs more than a bicycle. And if the monkey hadn't willingly accepted the contract, if my spiritual power hadn't already evolved into soul power, I would have been sucked completely dry the instant the contract started. Just a dried-up husk on the floor. Here lies Luo Tianya, killed by paperwork. But I couldn't stop now. Once a contract starts, there's no cancel button. So I clenched my teeth and held on. My soul ocean was evaporating. I could feel it drying up like a puddle in the desert. My body was shaking. My vision went white. I was running on absolute fumes. Boom. The contract completed. An invisible thread of light connected me and 6 years permanently. I slapped my left hand on the ground to keep from face-planting, my face white as paper, barely conscious. I tried to say something celebratory, but then the system chimed in my head. Contract successful. Level increased by 1. Divine ability acquired. Listen to all things. A golden light exploded from my body, upgrading my physical stats and soul power. For about half a second, I felt amazing. Then the information hit. Everything. All at once. Like opening every browser tab in the universe simultaneously. I could feel 6 years' joy. My caterpillar's excitement. The cushion's thread count. The teacup's manufacturing date. The incense's molecular composition. Outside the room. Every conversation, every beast's emotions, every person's thoughts, every object's information, all flooding into my brain at once like Niagara Falls being funneled through a garden hose. My nearly empty soul ocean, which had just gotten a tiny refill from the level up, got absolutely slammed by the information tsunami. So naturally, I passed out. Again. I was falling. I saw 6 years running toward me in a panic, little arms waving. And my last thought before going dark was, this divine ability is kind of a scam, isn't it? My caterpillar turned into a flash of light and retreated into my soul to hide. Even IT was done with today. I woke up to a gentle breeze on my face. Opened my eyes. Familiar bed curtains. A maid was fanning me gently. When she saw my eyes open, her face lit up. Young master, you're awake. How did I get home? She explained everything. I'd been unconscious for 2 days. The contract hall staff knocked on my door when my time ran out, got no answer, broke in, and found me passed out on the floor. Someone recognized me and brought me back to the estate. 2 days. That's the second time I've been knocked unconscious this week. At this rate, I'm going to spend more time asleep than awake. Where's my monkey? I shot up in bed. Right here, sleeping. The maid pointed to a cute little nest made of soft cloth next to my bed, where 6 years was curled up snoozing. Then the maid got all emotional. That little monkey is so loyal to you, young master. It wouldn't leave your side the entire time. When people tried to carry you in, it wouldn't let anyone touch you. We had to explain we were trying to help before it backed off. And it stayed awake, guarding you for 2 straight days. It only just fell asleep a little while ago because it couldn't fight the exhaustion anymore. I looked at the tiny sleeping monkey and felt my chest get all warm and tight. This little guy. It guarded me for 48 hours straight after knowing me for 1 afternoon. I mentally moved 6 years from valuable companion beast to ride-or-die family member status. Then the maid got awkward. Young master, the news about you fainting at the contract hall has spread through the whole estate. Everyone's saying you overestimated yourself trying to form a companion contract and it backfired. Of course they are. Of course. Every time I blink too long in this family, someone turns it into a rumor about how pathetic I am. Don't worry about what they say. I know what I'm doing. But everything's going to be fine. I patted her hand and told her to go get some rest. From the bags under her eyes, she'd clearly been worrying herself sick. After she left, I got out of bed, stretched, cracked my neck, and looked over at sleeping 6 years. Let the little guy rest. He earned it. Then I turned my attention inward to the system. Because I had some very pressing questions. Like, why did I level up from a companion beast contract? Your level is supposed to only go up with your bonded beast. And I got a divine ability from a companion contract? That's not how any of this is supposed to work. Time to figure out what the heck just happened. First thing I did when I woke up? Check the system. Obviously. Host, Luatienya. Level 1. Evolution points, 19. Bonded beast, caterpillar, azure dragon type. Companion beast, 6-eared macaque, cosmic anomaly, the only one. Divine ability, listen to all things, passively sealed. Wait, back up. Level 1. I went from unranked to level 1. From contracting a companion beast. That's not how anything works on this continent. Like at all. Here's how it's supposed to work. Only your bonded beast can level you up. When your bonded beast grows, you grow with it. That's the whole point of bonded beasts. You're spiritually linked. You share progress. You rise together. It's basically a buddy system for getting stronger. Companion beasts? They're bodyguards. Hired muscle. They fight for you. They protect you. But their growth doesn't do anything for you personally. That's the fundamental rule of this entire world's power system. And I just broke it. Not only did I level up from a companion contract, I also got a divine ability from it. Sure, it's currently sealed because my body can't handle the information flood yet, but still, the rules of reality just took one look at me and said, close enough. I checked 6 years stats, species, 6-eared macaque, born of heaven and earth, cosmic anomaly, the only one. Level 1. Divine ability, listen to all things. Status, exhausted. Sleeping. The seal on its ability was gone, meaning it had fully mastered the information filtering technique I taught it. Meanwhile I, the teacher, was now stuck with the same problem I solved for my student. The irony was so thick you could spread it on toast. I couldn't figure out why any of this happened, so I did what any reasonable person would do. I screamed inside my own head for help. Spirit cat. Spirit cat. Hello. After yelling for what felt like an eternity, the white cat ripped through space into my mind, for sticking up in every direction, looking like it got dragged out of bed by its tail. What do you want? I was sleeping. This thing called itself Cat Lord last time. And now it's acting like I interrupted its spa day. I have an all-knowing system assistant, and it has the work ethic of an actual house cat. Cat Lord, I said sweetly, swallowing my pride. I have a humble question for your magnificence. Hurry up. Cat Lord needs his beauty sleep, so I contracted a companion beast, but then I leveled up with it. How is that possible? You're making a big deal out of nothing. The cat licked its paw, again, and gave me its, you peasants know nothing look. That's just how the invincible evolution system works. It rewrites the rules at a fundamental level. When you contract a companion beast through the system, you get all the benefits, shared leveling, divine ability acquisition, the whole package. My brain nearly short-circuited. The system doesn't just help me evolve beasts, it literally hacks the laws of the universe, so companion beasts work like bonded beasts. So when my caterpillar levels up to 1, I'll hit level 2. My eyes were sparkling. You're dreaming, the cat glared at me. Your caterpillar going from 0 to 1 gives the same synchronized boost as your companion beast did. Synchronized leveling, that's the base rule. You don't get to double dip, genius. Seeing my disappointment, it threw me a bone. But when your bonded beast levels up, even if you don't gain a full level, it'll massively strengthen your foundation. You'd be the strongest level 1 fighter in existence. Being the strongest level 1 is useless if a level 2 can still stomp me, I grumbled. Idiot. The cat was losing its patience. With your soul power beyond level 9, you can contract multiple companion beasts. Each one makes you stronger. Get a few good ones with useful abilities, coordinate them properly, and you can fight way above your level. Fighting above my level? That's just basic main character stuff, I said casually. Pighead. The cat looked ready to claw my face off. I'm not talking about regular level skipping. I'm talking about genius level combat. The cat calmed down and started explaining the talent ranking system. This continent classifies humans into 3 tiers: talented, elite, and genius. Talented is already 1 in 10,000. Elite is even rarer. And genius? Only the ancient megasects that have existed for millennia produce those. So what's the criteria? I was genuinely interested now. First, spiritual power strength. Second, how rare your bonded beast is and how well you're synced with it. There are other minor factors, but those 2 are the big ones. I did some quick math. Spiritual power beyond level 9? Check. Bonded beast is an azure dragon, one of the 5 supreme divine beasts? Check. Soul compatibility, so high I literally summoned it from the divine beast pool first? So I'm basically a super genius then? I said, grinning. Hey. The cat laughed right in my face. You barely scraped the bottom edge of elite. Maybe. I could see it flinch after saying that, like it was worried I'd remember this insult later. But it puffed up its chest and doubled down. So stay humble. The world is a lot bigger than you think. I actually nodded. Fair enough. I'll remember this conversation though, cat. I will remember. Now back to the fighting above your level thing. The cat continued, paw licking on autopilot. True geniuses have maxed out spiritual power, physical bodies, divine abilities, and perfect coordination with their bonded beast plus companion beasts. They're unstoppable within their level and can crush people ranked above them. But, the cat's eyes gleamed, the invincible evolution system can make you surpass even geniuses. How? The system lets you contract companion beasts at low levels and receive their level-up bonuses. So, contract multiple companions while you're weak. Level them up to strengthen yourself and them. Then use those powered-up companions to farm evolution points in real combat. Feed those points into your bonded beast, and boom, rapid evolution cycle. It clicked instantly. It's a growth loop. Use my absurdly overpowered soul to contract strong companions, early level them up. They make me stronger, use that strength to win fights, earn evolution points, feed points to my caterpillar evolves. I get even stronger, contract more companions, repeat forever. The whole system was designed for someone with exactly my kind of talent. Someone with spiritual power way beyond their actual level, who can contract beasts they have no business contracting. So that's why the system chose me, I asked. Because of my spiritual power? Seems like you're not completely brain dead after all. Speaking of which, you said you contracted a companion beast. It nearly drained you dry? That shouldn't happen unless it was a literal divine beast cub. What did you contract? A 6-eared macaque. The cat froze. Complete silence. Its paw stopped mid-lick. Its mouth hung open. Its eyes went so wide I could see my reflection in them. What? 6-eared macaque? That little punk. The spirit cat completely lost it. First standing straight up, bouncing off the walls of my mental space like a ping-pong ball in a microwave. I've never seen a spiritual entity have such a violent allergic reaction to a name before. Wait, you know 6 ears? I asked, totally confused. The monkey is supposed to be the only one of its kind. It's basically a newborn. How would the cat know it? Is 6 ears some reincarnated ancient demon? The cat stopped mid-tantrum and actually looked confused at itself. Huh? I searched my memories and I don't have any record of meeting one. But just hearing that name makes me want to bite something. It licked its paw, shook off the feeling, and moved on. I don't know it. But honestly, I'm starting to think your biggest talent isn't spiritual power, it's dumb luck. A one-of-a-kind cosmic anomaly just happened to be sitting in a bargain bin and you happened to walk by? Ridiculous. I nodded proudly. What can I say? Luck is a skill. So you got its divine ability too? The cat asked. I nodded. Listen to all things? I nodded again. Sadder this time. Bahaha. The cat was howling with laughter. Listen to all things is potentially the most broken support ability in existence. But it's almost impossible to use properly. Good luck with that. Yeah, thanks, cat. Real helpful. I taught the monkey how to use it in one afternoon, but teaching myself? Apparently, that's a whole different problem. I needed information, so I did what any desperate man would do, shameless flattery. O wise and magnificent spirit cat, knower of all things above the heavens and below the earth. Go on, the cat purred. The walking encyclopedia of the cosmos. The supreme master of universal knowledge. Surely you could spare some guidance for your humble. The cat puffed up with pride, opened its mouth to speak, and vanished. Mid-sentence. Just poofed into thin air. All that butt-kissing for nothing. Its time ran out even faster than yesterday. I didn't even get a single useful tip. I wasted premium-grade flattery on a cat that dissolved before it could cash the check. Whatever. I left the system, got up from bed, and tiptoed out of my room so I wouldn't wake 6 years. Outside, the sun was shining. I stood in my courtyard, closed my eyes, and let my soul power unfold around me like a blanket covering the entire yard. And then, I saw everything, with my eyes closed. The wind. I could trace its path, see it weave between branches. A flower was blooming in the corner, and I could feel its joy. A leaf was falling from a tree, and I swear it was complaining. Like, really? You're just gonna let me go? After everything we've been through. The leaf had abandonment issues. I could sense it all. Every emotion, every tiny event, every whisper of life in my courtyard. My soul floated up, higher and higher, until I was looking down at the entire continent spread below me like a living map. Then I snapped back into my body, opened my eyes, and felt like I'd just taken the most refreshing shower of my life. Body and soul, completely cleansed. I checked the system. My divine ability status? Listen to all things. Seal removed. I truly am a genius, I said to nobody, because nobody was around to argue. Back inside, 6 years had just woken up. The second it saw me walk through the door, it went ballistic, jumping everywhere, chattering, grabbing my hand. 2 days of guarding me while I was unconscious, and now it was just happy I was alive and standing. Thanks for watching over me, little buddy. I scratched behind its ears. Now then, since you're awake, let's get you some levels. I still had 19 evolution points. Time to spend them. I opened the system, selected the points, targeted 6 years, and hit go. Level 2. A flash of golden light. 6 years grew a size bigger, and I felt my body strengthen too. Muscles tightening, soul power surging. Synchronized leveling. Cost, 2 points. More, level 3. And this is where things got insane. Golden light erupted from 6 years' body. Behind the monkey, dozens of shadow copies appeared, ghostly monkey silhouettes, each one throwing punches. But these weren't regular punches. One punch shattered a mountain. Another split an ocean in half. A third one cracked the sky open. I stood there with my jaw on the floor. What kind of martial art was this? Each punch carried an intent so profound it felt like watching the birth and death of universes. Then all the shadows merged back into one single figure behind 6 years. The figure threw one final punch. Just a simple, straight jab. Nothing fancy. But to my eyes, it wasn't a fist coming at me. It was an entire world. 6 years opened its eyes. A beam of golden fist energy shot out and hit the chair in front of it. The chair didn't break. It didn't crack. It turned into powder. Atomic-level destruction from a look. That's so cool. I was practically vibrating with excitement. Then 6 years stood up. The single shadow figure behind it stood up too. And from its tiny monkey body, an aura of pure, absolute, overwhelming dominance exploded outward. It hit me first, a level 3 human getting shoved backward by pure pressure alone. I slammed into the wall and couldn't move. Then the aura blew past me, rolled across the courtyard, across the gardens, and covered the entire Luo family estate. Every beast in the compound hit the floor, shaking in terror. And in some closed-door training room deep in the estate, my father, clan leader Luo Tome, had his eyes blast open. His bonded beast, a howling moon sky wolf, was growling and snarling, red eyes fixed on the outside. What incredible domination, my father whispered, because even he felt it. An aura of absolute supremacy, the kind that says, I exist, therefore I win. He teleported to the sky above the estate in a flash. Esteemed senior, if you're passing through our humble clan, please descend and allow us to show hospitality. He thought some legendary grandmaster was flying overhead. Because in the entire history of Maple Leaf City, no one had ever released this level of pressure before. But by the time he appeared, the aura was already gone. 6 years had pulled it all back in. Every trembling beast in the compound slowly stopped shaking. Dad hovered there confused, scanned the entire estate with his soul power, found nothing unusual, frowned hard, and disappeared to go have an emergency meeting with the elders about what just happened. Meanwhile, back in my courtyard, I was peeling myself off the wall, staring at 6 years. The ghost figure had fully absorbed into the monkey's little body. 6 years looked at me, communicated through our shared listen to all things connection. I need to digest this new ability. Don't level me up for now, and then promptly passed out. The golden glow faded, and it looked like a regular, harmless baby monkey again. I carefully placed the sleeping monkey back in its little nest and opened the system to check its new stats. What I saw made me suck in a sharp breath through my teeth. Holy! I opened the system and checked 6 years' stats. What I saw made me want to cry tears of pure joy. Species, 6-eared macaque, born of heaven and earth. Cosmic anomaly, the only one. Level 3. Divine abilities. Listen to all things. I alone am invincible fist, 6-eared macaque exclusive. Status. Absorbing and comprehending the I alone am invincible fist. I clicked on the ability description and my soul left my body. A fist technique hidden within the 6-eared macaque's bloodline. The 6-eared macaque does not bow to heaven, does not fear the earth, does not worship the gods or Buddhas. Only itself. I alone am invincible. This fist can shatter mountains and seas, sever heaven and earth, flatten the universe, and split open primordial chaos. Reading those words, I could see it in my mind. Alone, defiant monkey standing against every god in existence. Heaven rejecting it. The earth pushing it away. The entire universe trying to crush it. And this monkey just throws one simple, ordinary punch. And everything explodes. Gods. Gone. Heaven. Cracked. Universe. Deleted. That is the most metal ability description I have ever read in my life. Sadly, I can't learn it. It's a bloodline ability exclusive to 6 years. But just being near that kind of power was enough to make my blood boil with excitement. After calming down, I had lunch. A massive one because apparently getting soul drained and knocked unconscious twice in a week makes you hungry. Then tucked the still sleeping 6 years into my arms and headed out. Destination, Xiao Bai's place at White Clothes Alley. I'd been unconscious for 2 days, and my new follower probably thought I'd ghosted him. I was strolling along in the best mood I'd had all week, daydreaming about my glorious future, divine beasts surrounding me, enemies groveling, maybe some beautiful companions, the whole main character package. When I noticed a crowd gathered at the entrance to White Clothes Alley, and from the middle of that crowd, I heard the most obnoxious voice. That's what you get for dirtying my clothes. That's what you get for messing up my hair. That's what you get for making me fall. That's what you get for playing hero. I shoved through the crowd, and what I saw made my vision go red. 2 people were pinned to the ground by a pair of burly servants. Some punk kid was standing on their heads, grinding his foot down while screaming insults. Nearby, a rabbit and a wild boar were desperately trying to fight off a massive python, getting absolutely destroyed. Then I recognized the 2 faces being stomped on. Xiao Bai and Da Zhuang. My people. Something inside me snapped. I stomped the ground so hard my foot left a crater in the street, used the rebound force to launch myself at the 2 servants, and drop-kicked both of them simultaneously. These guys were level 5 at most. My level 3 body powered by Azure Dragon Constitution and Cosmic Monkey upgrades sent them flying through a wall into someone's living room. I landed, stood perfectly still, and locked eyes with the brat who'd been playing King of the Hill on my friend's skulls. Wang Chong, do you want to die? My voice came out so cold that the temperature in the alley probably dropped 10 degrees. I wasn't playing the charming pretty boy fallen genius right now. I was channeling every ounce of the domination aura I'd absorbed from 6 years' fist technique. Wang Chong, the most notorious rich kid bully in Maple Leaf City, went from unstoppable tyrant to Chihuahua in a thunderstorm in about half a second. I, I, I wasn't. Then get your stinky foot off their heads. Now. Oh, okay. He moved like a puppet with me pulling the strings. Xiao Bai, Da Zhuang, call back your beasts. They're too hurt. Their rabbit and boar were still trying to fight the python. Except, fight was generous. The snake was basically toying with them. But when the two tried to recall their beasts, they wouldn't come back. The rabbit and boar pulled away, then roared at their own masters. The whole crowd went quiet. An old man with a white beard stepped forward and explained, "This is called master's shame, beast's fury. When a bonded beast's owner is humiliated beyond endurance, the beast goes berserk. It won't listen to commands. It just wants to destroy whoever caused the disgrace." He got all nostalgic. Years ago, I witnessed the same thing. A man's bonded beast went completely mad after watching its master be humiliated. It killed every one of the enemy's companion beasts, then charged the enemy's bonded beast in a suicide attack. Bonded beasts can't truly die. They retreat to the soul to heal, but that kind of fierce loyalty. It moved everyone present. Then the old man dropped a bombshell. And the most famous person watching that day? The man who later became the legendary Nangong Wushuang. The Matchless King. The crowd erupted. The Matchless King? The continental legend? Everyone completely forgot about the actual situation and started geeking out over ancient celebrity gossip. But I stayed focused. The rabbit and the boar were covered in wounds, bleeding, barely standing, and still trying to fight that python. Their loyalty was incredible, but they were going to get themselves killed for nothing. Xiao Bai? Da Zhuang. Call them back now. They don't need more injuries. It took everything they had. Tears streaming down their bruised, swollen faces. But they finally convinced their beasts to stop fighting and return. Both animals came back covered in gashes and bite marks. "I'm sorry," both of them whispered to their beasts, gently touching their wounds. "I'm sorry you got hurt because of me." Meanwhile, the two servants I'd kicked through a wall had crawled back and positioned themselves behind Wang Cheng's python. The standoff was set. I turned to Wang Cheng. "What happened?" Nobody answered, so the white-bearded old man spoke up again. "Simple. This young man," pointing at Wang Cheng, "was walking down the street, saw a pretty girl, tried to harass her, then tried to drag her to his mansion. She refused. He tried to force her. These two stepped in to stop him, pushed him, he fell on his face, and he called his servants to beat them down. That's it. Clean. Clear. Damning." I bowed to the old man in thanks, then turned back to Wang Cheng. I took one step forward and released the aura I'd absorbed from 6 years. I alone am invincible fist. Not the monkey's full power, just the feeling of it. The intent. The vibe that says, "I am here and you are nothing." The old man's eyebrows shot up. That aura. I didn't break eye contact with the trembling bully. "Wang Cheng, have you forgotten what I told you years ago?" I didn't. I wasn't. Don't make stuff up. Wang Cheng hit me with the classic triple denial, face white as a ghost. Let me give you some backstory on this clown. When we were kids, this little monster was already terrorizing the entire city. Bullying old people, stealing from shops, harassing anyone weaker. The full supervillain origin story. Except he never got cool enough to be an actual villain. He was just annoying and mean. Now, even though I was also a kid at the time, I had a fully grown adult brain inside my skull. And I looked at this pint-sized menace and thought, if he's this bad now, imagine him at 16. So I gathered some friends, including Da Zhuang, ambushed him, stripped him naked, tied him to a tree, and left him baking in the sun for an entire afternoon. Then I told him, do it again, and next time it's 180 days. That left a psychological scar so deep you could park a wagon in it. After that, especially once I became the city's #1 genius at 12, Wang Cheng basically became a hermit. Stayed inside, locked doors, probably checked under his bed for me every night. But then he heard my bonded beast was a caterpillar, and this idiot thought his time had finally come. His own bonded beast, a level 2 forest python, just hatched, and in his pea-sized brain, level 2 beats caterpillar, so obviously he was the boss now. So the city's most notorious little creep was back. And today he spotted a pretty girl on the street, tried to drag her home. She said no. He tried to force her. Xiao Bai and Da Zhuang happened to walk by and stepped in, shoved him, and he ate pavement. Which brings us to the current situation. My two guys getting their faces stomped by a spoiled brat while his servants held them down. But now one of those servants stepped forward, blocked my aura, and whispered to Wang Chong, "Young master, Luo Tianya is a waste now. His bonded beast is a caterpillar. You don't need to fear him anymore." I watched the exact moment the light bulb turned on in Wang Chong's empty head. His spine straightened. His chin lifted. The fear drained from his face and was replaced by the dumbest smirk I've ever seen. "Humph. Luo Tianya, you're trash now. The whole city's laughing at you. My bonded beast is level 2, already stronger than whatever you've got. I'm going to pay you back 10 times for everything you did to me." He snapped his fingers. One servant summoned a green poisonous viper. Combined with the python already out, there were now 2 level 5 snake-type beasts facing me, tongues flicking, vertical pupils locked on. I assessed the situation and, yeah, it wasn't great. 6 Ears was still unconscious in my arms, absorbing the eye alone invincible fist technique. My caterpillar was in my soul sea. I was level 3 with enhanced strength, but 0 actual combat techniques. 2 level 5 snakes plus 2 level 5 servants? The math wasn't matching. Then 2 shadows appeared beside me. I turned, Xiao Bai and Da Zhuang, faces swollen like rotten melons, blood still dripping from their noses, standing at my sides with their backs straight and their eyes burning. They'd just gotten the beating of their lives. Their bonded beasts were torn up, and they were stepping right back into the fight. Haha, 3 hearts as one, sharp enough to cut through gold. I was genuinely moved. With brothers like these, I'd charge into hell itself and ask for seconds. The crowd scattered backward. This wasn't the arena with referees and safety barriers. This was a street fight where stray attacks could kill bystanders. Xiao Bai and Da Zhuang summoned their injured rabbit and boar again. Not much help in their condition, but every little bit counted. I activated Listen to All Things, scanning the snake's thoughts, trying to find their weaknesses. Then I felt it. Movement in my arms. A warm pulse of golden energy. 6 Ears was waking up. I looked down and golden light was rippling across the monkey's body. An aura started building. That same overwhelming, reality-bending pressure from before. In the crowd, the white-bearded old man sensed it immediately. This aura. It's the same one from earlier, but purer. More dominating. 6 Ears' eyes snapped open. It launched from my arms into the air. Behind it, a massive golden phantom appeared. A towering monkey silhouette that radiated one single, crystal-clear message to every living thing in the vicinity. I bow to nothing. The phantom merged into 6 Ears' body in a flash. The monkey's eyes blazed with golden fire, and a wave of supreme, absolute, bone-crushing dominance exploded outward. Half the crowd just collapsed. Not hurt. Their legs simply refused to support them in the presence of something so far above them. The white-bearded old man stayed standing, eyes shining like stars. What kind of beast is this? WA with a Q10G. I was cackling now. My beast just woke up, and I promise you, I'm going to tie you to a tree and let you sunbathe for 180 days. 6 Ears landed on my shoulder, grabbed a strand of my hair with its tiny hand, and started chattering excitedly in my ear. Through Listen to All Things, I could understand every word. It was basically bragging about how awesome it felt now. Yeah, I know you're amazing. But we've got a problem to deal with first. I pointed at the 2 snakes, which were trembling so hard they looked like they were doing the worm. I explained the situation quickly. Who Wang Chong was. What he did to Xiao Bai and Da Zhuang. What he tried to do to that girl. 6 Ears' eyes went from playful to murderous in a nanosecond. It locked onto Wang Chong with a stare so intense the kid probably felt his soul leave his body. Then 6 Ears hopped off my shoulder and started walking. Slowly, calmly, one tiny step at a time, toward the 2 level 5 snakes. 1 step forward. Both snakes slithered 1 step back. Another step. They retreated again. Step. Retreat. Step. Retreat. A level 3 monkey, the size of a large hand, casually strolling toward 2 level 5 serpents like it was taking a morning walk in the park. And they were running from it. Not because of a flashy attack. Not because of some explosive technique. Just because of the sheer, undeniable, soul-deep certainty radiating from every fiber of this monkey's being. I am going to win. You already know it. The only question is how much this is going to hurt. The white-bearded old man was practically vibrating. I have never seen a beast like this in my entire life. Neither had I, old man. Neither had I. And it was mine. I summoned my caterpillar onto my shoulder and sat back to enjoy the show. If 6 Ears wanted to handle this personally, who was I to argue? This was basically a free live demonstration of the most broken fist technique in existence. We can't retreat any further. That was Wang Chong, screaming at his guys. My monkey had walked them all the way back to a wall. Literally cornered. The city's biggest bully, 2 level 5 servants, 2 level 5 snakes, all backed into a dead end by a monkey the size of a grapefruit. Attack. 2 level 5 snakes can't lose to 1 tiny monkey. Kill it. Wang Chong was fully unhinged now, arms flailing, spit flying. He knew if he lost today, his reputation was gone forever, so he went full send. The servants had no choice. They forced their terrified snakes forward. Those serpents did not want to move. Their little snake brains were screaming, abort mission. And the 2 men charged toward me with their fists, trying the old, distract the owner while the beasts attack, strategy. 6 Ears didn't even blink. It stood perfectly still, like a grandmaster about to teach a lesson. Slowly, almost lazily, it raised its right fist. The golden phantom appeared behind it one more time, mirroring the pose. And then 6 Ears threw one punch. Mountain Splitter, the first form of the eye alone, invincible fist. A wave of pure, unstoppable force crashed forward. The 2 snakes, being in front, caught the worst of it. They let out one pathetic wail, and then poof, dissolved into light particles and got sucked back into their owner's spiritual seas. Instant critical damage. Do not pass go. Do not collect 200 crystals. Go directly to Soul Hospital. The leftover force slammed into the 2 servants. They flew backward like rag dolls, smashed through the brick wall behind them, and landed in a crumpled heap on the other side. Not moving. Possibly not breathing. Definitely not getting up anytime soon. 2 level 5 snakes. 2 level 5 fighters. Deleted. In one punch. By a level 3 monkey. 6 Ears casually hopped back onto my shoulder and immediately started excitedly chattering with my caterpillar like it had just come back from recess, not a demolition. I looked at Wang Chong, standing alone in front of a broken wall, his entire squad wiped out in about 3 seconds. So, scared to death yet? Don't worry, when I tie you to the tree later, try not to cry too much. His knees buckled. He hit the ground. And I noticed, oh no, his pants were wet. This teenager, the self-proclaimed, returned terror of Maple Leaf City, had literally peed himself. Don't come near me. I covered my nose and took several steps back. Dude, you're like 16. Really? Looking down at this pathetic, trembling, damp mess of a human, I actually felt a tiny bit bad. Tiny. Microscopic. Wang Chong, evil always catches up with you. Seriously, just be a good person. It's not that hard. He wasn't listening. His brain had checked out. He was curled up on the ground, scooting backward through his own puddle, babbling. Let me go today, and I won't. My brother Wang Ting is coming back from Southern Sky Academy soon. He won't let you get away with begging and threatening in the same sentence. Classic Wang Chong. Even his breakdowns are inconsistent. Now, Wang Tung, his older brother, that's actually someone people respect around here. Same year as Bai Chiu, 5 years ago. Second best talent in that class. Bonded Beast is a mutant white serpent. Currently at Southern Sky Academy being important. Wang Chong thought dropping that name would scare me. I crossed my arms, tilted my chin up, and with the most devastating, casual, utterly dismissive expression I could produce, I said, "Oh, Wang Tung, tell me, does your brother possess the qualifications of an emperor?" Dead. Silence. Nobody in the crowd even understood what I meant at first. Emperor class? Above king class? That's a level of power so far beyond anything Maple Leaf City has ever seen. Most people didn't even know it existed. The white-bearded old man sighed. Emperor class. Beings that transcend even kings. It's been ages since one appeared. The crowd started buzzing. And then they did the math on what I'd just implied. Loa Tianya was saying that unless Wang Tung was literally the most powerful classification of warrior in history, he wasn't even worth worrying about. The audacity. Everyone started shaking their heads. Yep, the fallen genius has definitely lost it. Brains completely fried. In local dialect, his head's gone double. The old man also shook his head, thinking I was just a delusional kid with a big mouth. Look, I was just making a reference from my past life. It was a joke, a meme. But nobody here has the cultural context to appreciate my humor. So instead, I'm just the crazy caterpillar boy who thinks he's bigger than emperors. Fine. Remember this moment, people. We'll see who's laughing in a year. Anyway, I was done playing. I'm not scared of your brother. Drop his name again, and I'll beat both of you. Now, empty your pockets. All your crystals. Hand them over, and you can go. The tree-tying threat was always just to mess with him. Realistically, I couldn't do that anymore. We're not little kids. Doing that now would be a direct slap to the Wang family's face. And without my clan backing me up, I'd be starting a war I couldn't finish. Better to take his money and call it justice. Wang Cheng's face lit up like Christmas when he heard, "You can go." He fumbled out his money bag so fast he almost dropped it, stood up to hand it over. "Stop. Throw it. I am not letting you come closer smelling like that." He threw it at my feet, face twisted between humiliation and rage. I could practically see the revenge fantasies forming in his empty little head. Just wait till Big Brother gets home. Yeah, get in line, buddy. I picked up the bag with 2 fingers, opened it, counted the crystals inside. Oh, that's a lot of crystals. Rich kid indeed. All right, you're free. Now scram. And stop being evil. Wang Cheng didn't even check on his 2 unconscious servants still lying in the rubble. He just ran. Full sprint. Gone in seconds. Probably set a new personal speed record powered by pure terror and wet pants. I looked at his money bag again and grinned from ear to ear. Hee. Jackpot. Fighting for justice and getting paid for it. Today was a great day. First things first. I checked on the 2 servants 6 ears had punched through a wall. Still alive, just very unconscious and very broken. I'm not a monster, so I paid a couple of bystanders 2 white crystals to carry them back to the Wang family estate. You're welcome, Wang Cheng. I just spent your money saving your guys. Then I walked back to my boys. You two okay? Xiao Bai and Da Zhuang looked like matching eggplants. Purple, swollen, and deeply unhappy. But they waved me off. Just scratches. We're fine. Sure you are. That's why your faces look like someone played drums on them. I dragged them to a nearby clinic that had a healing-type beast, a butterfly fairy. Picture this, a palm-sized little person with butterfly wings, looking like Tinkerbell's cooler cousin. She fluttered around, sprinkled some milky white light on my guys and their beasts, and all the bruises and cuts started healing in real time. Like watching a video in reverse. Pretty magical stuff. Healing beasts are insanely rare. Having one as a bonded beast? Almost unheard of. Nobody in Maple Leaf City has ever had one. This particular fairy was a companion beast belonging to some old doctor, and she only healed people when she was in a good mood. Thankfully today she was vibing, humming little songs to herself while she worked. The bill? 10 white crystals. For like 30 seconds of sparkle therapy. Xiao Bai and Da Zhuang looked like they'd been stabbed all over again. Relax. It's Wang Cheng's money. Why are you crying? After that, we found a restaurant and sat down. 3 guys, for beasts, 1 table of food coming right up. Young Master Law, thank you for saving us, Xiao Bai said, clutching his rabbit, looking guilty. Stop. You're my guy now. Backing you up is literally my job. Now hand over the rabbit. Let me figure out your bottleneck issue. His eyes practically sparkled. He pushed the white rabbit into my hands like it was his firstborn child. I scanned it with the system. Species, Taoye type. Level, 5. Ability, gluttony. Status, can't eat enough. No energy to level up. Same as before. But now I had Wang Cheng's fat wallet, so I actually had the resources to fix this. I handed the rabbit back. After lunch, we solved this. Xiao Bai almost dropped to his knees again. I caught him mid-descent. What did I say about kneeling? He was so moved he looked like he was about to pledge a blood oath right there at the dinner table. My life is yours, young master. Great, your life can start by eating some chicken. Now, Da Zhuang, let me see your beast too. And oh, Da Zhuang hugged his little black pig protectively, eyeing me like I was a butcher. Xiao He doesn't like strangers touching him. I'm not going to cook your pig. I snatched the squealing piglet out of his arms. I pulled up the stats while it squirmed. Species, Wild Boar King. Level, 3. Ability, Charge. Status, Terrified. Afraid of being braised. If it comes to that, request steaming instead. I stared at this pig. It stared back at me with big, wet, terrified eyes. I specifically want braised, I said, holding it by its front trotters and giving it my most evil grin. Braised has more flavor. Steaming is for quitters. Ojink, full panic mode. Legs kicking, snout flailing, desperately trying to escape. Then it realized it couldn't break free, turned its head to look at Dazhuang with the most dramatic, soap opera farewell expression I've ever seen on a farm animal, slowly closed its eyes, and went completely limp. Go ahead, do what you must. I've made my peace with this world. This pig is an actor. I was dying laughing. Give this hog an Oscar. I handed it back to Dazhuang, who immediately cradled it like a baby and glared at me. But inside, my mind was racing. Because that pig, that ridiculous, melodramatic, terrified little ham, it's a king-class beast. Let me explain the beast talent hierarchy. From bottom to top, normal beast, mutant beast, beast king, mutant beast king. For tiers, Dazhuang's pig is tier 3, the second highest category in existence. For perspective, the Luo family patriarch, my dad, has a howling moon sky wolf that is currently trying to evolve into a beast king and hasn't managed it yet. Meanwhile, Dazhuang's little pig was born there, and it already had an awakened ability at level 3, a perfect combat-type charge ability that synergizes with its species. With proper resources, this pig could become genuinely terrifying. Dazhuang is secretly a genius and doesn't even know it, I muttered to myself. My crew was stacked. An azure dragon caterpillar, a cosmic one-of-a-kind monkey, a Taoye rabbit, a king-class battle pig. We looked like a petting zoo and fought like a natural disaster. I was deep in thought, planning our next moves, when, Tinya, Tiny, Dazhuang was shouting in my ear. The food is here. Right. Eat up, everyone. Even 6 Ears had a plate of fruit delivered and was happily munching away like a little gentleman. Midway through the meal, a thought hit me. Wait, what about the girl you guys rescued? Where'd she go? Dazhuang shrugged, cheeks stuffed with chicken. Dunno, Xiaobai frowned. She vanished the moment we stepped in. Like she was never there. Probably just a scared civilian who bolted, I said, and went back to eating. What I didn't know, what none of us knew, was that in a quiet corner of that very same restaurant, an old man and a teenage girl were sitting in plain sight. Except nobody could see them. Not the waiters walking past. Not the customers. Not even us. It was like they didn't exist. And the old man? He was the white-bearded guy from the street. The one who'd told the story about the matchless king. And the girl? She was the one Xiao Bai and Dazhuang had saved from Wang Chong. Grandpa, why are we following these 3 dummies? She pouted. They're boring. Just brainless idiots who charge into fights without thinking. The old man smiled, sipped his wine, and said nothing. But in his mind he was thinking, my own bonded beast couldn't see through that monkey's true nature. These kids are anything but ordinary. After stuffing our faces at the restaurant, the 3 of us rolled out like a small army. 3 guys, for beasts, bellies full, spirits high. Follow me. We're going to the Spirit Liquid Hall. We marched in formation toward the building, and I swear the guards at the door thought we were a raiding party. 3 beat-up dudes, a caterpillar, a monkey, a rabbit, and a pig, walking toward them with purpose? I'd be nervous too, but once they recognized me, they relaxed. Fallen genius or not, I wasn't about to rob a spirit liquid shop. The chubby manager came waddling out with the biggest customer service smile I've ever seen. Young Master Law, it's been so long. We've missed you. You sound like a heartbroken girlfriend who hasn't been visited in months, I said, walking straight past him. He laughed it off. Professional. I respected that. After we sat down and they served tea, he asked what I needed. 2 portions of mid-grade spirit liquid. 1 portion of high-grade. Right away. No hesitation. No. Can you afford that? No awkward pause. He just said yes and went to get it. That actually surprised me. I'm the city's biggest joke right now, and this guy was treating me the exact same way as when I was the golden child. No doubt. No second guessing. Interesting, I muttered, smiling. Some people show their true character when you're down. This chubby manager just earned himself a loyal customer for life. He came back pushing a cart with 3 special containers filled with glowing green liquid, 2 lighter ones, mid-grade, and 1 darker one, high-grade. All 4 beasts went feral. My caterpillar perked up. 6 Ears was literally bouncing off the walls. The rabbit's ears stood straight up. Even the drama pig was drooling. I pulled out 1 blue crystal stone and 2 green crystal stones from Wang Chung's money bag. Thanks again, buddy, and placed them on the table. Here's the payment. The manager tried to be nice. Young master, you can always put it on a tab. No rush. Nah, I pay my debts. Times have changed. What if I can't pay you back later? Better to settle up now. He reluctantly took the crystals, but I could see his brain working. This kid still has money? Good thing I was nice to him. Quick explanation on spirit liquid. It's extracted from spirit stones, and it's basically protein shakes for beasts. It accelerates their growth and evolution. Low grade costs 10 white crystals per serving. Mid grade costs 1 green crystal. High grade costs 1 blue crystal, a fortune. 1 blue crystal could buy you a house in the poor district. About Wang Chung's money bag. When I opened it earlier, I nearly had a heart attack. Over a dozen blue crystal stones inside. That spoiled brat was walking around with a small fortune in his pants. His pants that he peed in. This is the greatest redistribution of wealth in Maple Leaf City history. Okay, distribution time. The manager left and closed the door behind him. Good man. Xiao Bai, your rabbit gets the high grade. Da Zhuang, your pig gets 1 mid-grade. 6 ears and my caterpillar share the other mid-grade. Before Xiao Bai could even react, for little blurs shot across the room. By the time everyone blinked, the rabbit had its face buried in the high-grade liquid, drinking like it had been lost in a desert for 40 years. W8. Young master, this is too expensive. I can't. Xiao Bai? This rabbit of yours has been starving for 4 years. It's a Taoye, the legendary devourer of all things. The reason it's stuck at level 5 is because low-grade liquid is like giving a bodybuilder a single rice grain for dinner. It needs the good stuff. Could a Taoye species be overfed? Huh, that's like asking if the ocean can have too much water. The Taoye's entire thing is eating. You literally cannot fill this thing up. And sure enough, the high-grade liquid was vanishing at a speed I'd never seen before. I've read hundreds of beast manuals, and I have never seen a level 5 beast chug high-grade spirit liquid like a college kid at a frat party. It was impressive and slightly terrifying. Meanwhile, Da Zhuang's little black pig was in hog heaven. First time tasting mid-grade spirit liquid in its entire piggy life, and it had its eyes closed in pure ecstasy. Little piggy smile. Little piggy sounds. If it had hands, it would have been giving a chef's kiss. 6 ears and my caterpillar were sharing the other mid-grade portion. My caterpillar, being level 0, could only sip a little. Its tiny body couldn't handle too much high-quality energy. But 6 ears, freshly evolved to level 3 and hungry for more power, was matching the rabbit's drinking pace on lower-grade liquid. That's how insane cosmic anomalies are. Then, the rabbit finished first, drained every last drop of that high-grade spirit liquid, let out the most satisfied burp I've ever heard, and then just stopped moving. Completely frozen, like someone hit pause on a rabbit. I stood up to check on it. There's no reason a beast would just freeze after eating. It's not like it's a... The pig looked up at me nervously. Okay, it's not a pig. It shouldn't be food comatose. I reached out to touch the rabbit, and boom. Blinding white light exploded from the rabbit's body. The entire room lit up like a flashbang went off. A shock wave of energy blasted outward, shoving me backward, and nearly flipped the other 2 containers of spirit liquid. Thank God the other 3 beasts jumped in to protect them. We all stared into the wall of white light, trying to see what was happening to the rabbit. But it was pure, solid, impenetrable brightness. My heart was pounding, because I knew exactly what this was. The Taoye species had been starving for 4 years. It couldn't level up because it never had enough energy. And I just poured an entire serving of high-grade spirit liquid into the most gluttonous beast species in existence. It wasn't just leveling up. It was evolving. Come on, Taoye, show me what you've got. A strange sound echoed through the room, like a beast cry from another dimension, and the blinding white light started pulling inward, condensing, slowly revealing a shape inside. We all leaned forward. Xiao Bai was crying. Full waterworks. For years he'd waited for his rabbit to break through level 5. For years of pouring every coin he had into a beast that just kept eating and never growing. And now, finally, the light faded. And standing where the cute little bunny used to be was. Xiao Bai screamed. Because his adorable, fluffy, white, cuddle-sized rabbit had transformed into a jacked, muscular, standing on 2 legs monster rabbit. This thing looked less like a bunny and more like if a gorilla and a rabbit had a baby that lived at the gym. Bulging muscles, veins popping, standing upright like a person. The cute factor was gone and replaced with pure, I will punch you into next week energy. At the same time, Xiaobai himself leveled up to 6, breaking his own bottleneck. So his face was doing this incredible thing where it kept switching between extreme joy and extreme horror. Happy because he finally leveled up. Terrified because his cute pet bunny was now a bodybuilder. Are you performing a one-man show? I asked him. Your face is changing faster than a stage actor's. I walked over and touched the muscle bunny to scan it. Species, Taoya type. Level, 6. Abilities, gluttony, violence. Status, happy about leveling up. Currently showing off violence ability. Violence. That's the new divine ability. Not enhanced strength or power boost or some fancy name. Just straight up violence. I love this rabbit. Stop crying, I told Xiaobai, who was staring at his roided out rabbit like it had betrayed him. This is just the violence ability activating. It'll go back to normal in a minute. Oh really? He looked at me like a man clinging to hope. Have some backbone, I scolded him. Your rabbit just evolved and gained a combat ability that could flatten a wall, and you're sitting here being sad because it's got abs now. I just need a moment to process. He whimpered. Sure enough, a few minutes later, the Hulk bunny powered down and shrunk back into a cute little white rabbit. Xiaobai immediately scooped it up, smiling again. This man's emotional stability is directly proportional to his rabbit's cuteness level. Did you get a divine ability? I asked him. Sometimes when a bonded beast gains an ability, the owner gets it too. Xiaobai closed his eyes, concentrated, and then his entire body inflated with muscle. Shirt stretching. Seems screaming. Arms like tree trunks. He went from skinny broke guy to professional wrestler in 2 seconds flat. Test it. Hit that stone slab. He stomped over, every step cracking the floor tiles, wound up his fist, and smashed the stone slab into gravel. Pieces flew everywhere. With this power, those guys from earlier wouldn't have stood a chance against you. Level 6 body, level 6 spiritual power, plus the violence ability on both him and his rabbit? Xiaobai could probably fight people way above his level now. Double violence combo, 1 punchy rabbit, 1 punchy human. He looked at the destroyed floor and the shattered stone, embarrassed. Sorry about the mess. Don't worry about it. You just got the ability. Control comes with practice. Train hard. Xiaobai's situation solved. Next, Da Zhuang's little black pig had quietly leveled up to 4 from the mid-grade spirit liquid. No dramatic light show, no transformation, no fanfare, just a little glow, and suddenly both Da Zhuang and the pig were standing there looking confused, like they'd both just woken up from a nap they didn't remember taking. Did something happen? Da Zhuang asked, blinking. I didn't even dignify that with a response. As for 6 ears and my caterpillar, they finished their shared portion of mid-grade liquid, but didn't level up. Not surprising. A cosmic anomaly monkey and a divine azure dragon species need way more energy than 1 serving of mid-grade can provide. Without the invincible evolution system, I'd go bankrupt trying to feed these two through normal means. We paid for the floor damage, 10 white crystals to the chubby manager, who bowed us out like we were royalty, and headed out. What's next, young master? Xiaobai asked. The beast arena, 2 birds, 1 stone. First, evolution points. My caterpillar needs to level up, and I need combat victories to earn points. Second, training. Xiaobai's rabbit just got the violence ability and needs real fight experience to master it. Nothing teaches you like getting punched in the face, or punching someone else in the face. We walked through the city with 0 disguises, 0 stealth, 0 shame. After what happened with Wang Chong, the whole city probably already knew I was back and not as fallen as everyone thought. The news had probably spread faster than a forest fire. Luo Tianya has a mysterious monkey that one-shot 2 level 5 beasts, so we strolled into the arena like we own the place. Which, again, my family partially does. At the registration desk, we want to fight. Please state your identity, beast level, combat history, and whether you'd like to remain anonymous. Luo Tianya. Beast level 3. First time fighting. No need to hide my identity. The clerk's head snapped up so fast I thought his neck would break. Luo. Young Master Luo? You can't compete here. What if something happens to you? Your family OWNS this place. If you get hurt, they'll fire me. Are you looking down on me? I said with my coldest voice. And no, there are referees on the field, right? I'll be fine. Now sign me up, sign me up, or I'll make you my first opponent. Yes, SIR, right away, SIR. He frantically registered us and handed out wooden tags. Then he explained the system. You can fight same level or challenge higher levels. Same level fights need scheduling since matching opponents takes time. But challenging up? Easy. Just pick your range, and they'll match you based on entertainment value. My monkey, I said casually, can take anyone under level 7. Book them all. The clerk looked at me, then at the tiny monkey on my shoulder, then back at me. Young master, that companion beast must have been hard to acquire. Perhaps. Be careful with it. Oh, buddy, you have no idea what this little monkey can do. The clerk could tell 6 Ears was my companion beast, not my bonded beast. Everyone knows my bonded beast is the famous caterpillar. He was genuinely trying to be nice when he warned me to be careful. Don't worry, I said with a confident smile. I trust my companion beast completely. In worst case, we can always surrender. ZH. 6 Ears went ballistic on my shoulder, grabbing my hair, screaming in my ear, absolutely furious. Through listen to all things I could hear its thoughts crystal clear. Surrender? Did you just say surrender? I would rather eat my own tail then. Okay. No surrendering. 6 Ears is invincible. Unstoppable. The greatest warrior who ever lived. Happy, the monkey crossed its little arms, gave a satisfied humph, and sat back down on my shoulder like a tiny emperor on a throne. Give us the fastest available fight, I told the clerk. He checked the schedule. There's a level 6 poison serpent available in 15 minutes. It's on a 10-win streak. They call it level 6 invincible. Are you? Sure. Book it. 15 minutes later, the arena was roaring. Thousands of people packed into the stands, screaming their lungs out. Now entering. The undefeated, the unstoppable, 10 wins, 0 losses, the level 6 invincible poison serpent. The crowd went nuclear. This snake was apparently a local celebrity. A 6-level killing machine with venom so nasty it had actually killed several companion beasts in previous matches, even with level 9 referees and healing fairies standing by. It was fast, it was deadly, and it was the crowd's darling. Up in the stands, I could picture Dazhuang nervously biting his nails. Do you think Tianya can actually win this? And Xiao Bai, my ride or die, probably saying, young Master Liu never fights a battle he can't win. And Dazhuang. But he bet a whole blue crystal stone on this. Oh yeah, about that. When I saw the odds, 1 to 20 because nobody believed a level 3 monkey could beat a level 6 poison snake. I grabbed Wang Cheng's entire money bag and dumped it on the betting counter. The staff nearly had a collective heart attack. Then they told me there's a betting CAP for fights level 6 and below. Maximum, 1 blue crystal stone. 1? That's it. 1? I was livid. I had over a dozen blue crystals, and they'd only let me bet 1? I scooped the rest back up and muttered, cheapskates, as I walked away. The betting staff didn't know whether to laugh or call security. But still, 1 blue crystal at 20 to 1 odds means 20 blue crystals if I win. That's a small fortune. I'd take it. And now, the challenger. A level 3. Monkey. That was the referee's introduction. That's it. No hype. No title. No drama. Just a level 3 monkey in the flattest, most uninterested voice possible. Like he was reading a grocery list. The crowd booed. Actual boos. Thousands of people looking at me like I was wasting their time. Excuse me, I shouted at the referee. Could you at least make it sound cool? Give us some energy. The referee, a level 9 beast tamer with a sword bird on his shoulder, looked at me with the dead eyes of a man who's seen everything. Do you have any battle record? No? Then there's nothing to announce. Fair. But rude. I straightened up and declared, from today my 6-eared macaque will be carved into this arena's history. And this arena will be remembered because of my 6-eared macaque. Our legend starts here. 6 Ears nodded solemnly, hopped off my shoulder, put its hands behind its back like a kung fu master, and walked, not ran, to the center of the arena. Tiny steps. Total swagger. The most casual stroll into a death match I've ever seen. You're not going to cast an amplification array for your beast? The referee asked, surprised. Every beast tamer uses spiritual arrays to boost their beasts in combat. It's standard practice. Won't be necessary. The referee shrugged. Your funeral. On the opposite side stood the poison serpent's owner, and wouldn't you know it, another member of the Wong family. This guy looked like a horror movie character. Pale skin, long greasy hair, dark eyes with snake-pattern tattoos spreading from his eye corners. If you put a wig on him, he could haunt a house professionally. He stroked his serpent. The thing was coiled up half as tall as a person, pupils glowing, tongue flicking with excitement. Ready to kill. Ready? The referee asked Snake Boy. Yes, cold. Emotionless. Creepy. Ready? He looked at me. I nodded. Fight. The referee leaped backward. Boom. And it was over. 1 second. That's all it took. 1 second. Boom. The arena erupted. I'm talking earthquake-level noise. The ceiling was literally shaking. And for good reason, because what just happened broke every brain in that building. Let me rewind a few seconds. The referee yelled, fight, and jumped backward. The poisoned serpent lunged forward. Snake Boy started forming his spiritual amplification array, fingers glowing, and 6 ears just punched. 1 punch. Mountain splitter. The eye alone, invincible fist. The fist energy hit the snake mid-lunge, froze it in the air like someone pressed pause on reality, and then launched it across the entire arena. The snake flew out of bounds, smacked into the wall, and slid down like a wet noodle. Completely lifeless. A boneless, motionless puddle of former serpent. Meanwhile, the referee hadn't even landed yet from his backward jump. Snake Boy's amplification array was still half-formed on his fingertips, glowing uselessly. The fight was over before he finished his first move. 1 second. Total. Dead silence for about half a heartbeat. Then chaos. Cheater. That's not a level 3 beast. Rigged. This is rigged. They're scamming us out of our crystals. The entire gambling section was having a collective meltdown. These guys had bet their rent money on the unbeatable poison serpent, and now they were watching their savings evaporate in real time. Some dude was literally clutching his head and screaming at the sky. There's no way a level 3 beats a level 6. Level 6 has evolved once. It has divine abilities. How? Black box. Black box. The crowd started chanting. Thousands of angry gamblers, unified in their refusal to believe what their own eyes just showed them. The referee looked embarrassed. He'd been doing this job for years and had completely misjudged this fight. A level 9 professional beast tamer, fooled by a tiny monkey. His perfect career record had a crack in it now, and you could see the pain on his face. But he's professional, so first things first. He flew over to check on the snake. The poison serpent was in bad shape. The arena doctor examined it and gave his diagnosis. Body nearly snapped into multiple sections. Every soft bone shattered. Fortunately, the venom sac didn't rupture. Otherwise, this snake would have become the first beast in continental history to poison itself to death. Bonded beasts can't actually die, the referee pointed out. True, but it'll need extensive healing. Either a continuous supply of mid-grade spirit liquid or several doses of high-grade to speed things up. Snake Boy, Wong Baoyu, another Wong family member, because of course he is, went pale. He couldn't afford that. He begged the doctor's butterfly fairy to heal the snake, but the fairy was in a bad mood today and was just flying around ignoring everyone. Classic diva behavior. The referee sighed, ordered 3 portions of mid-grade spirit liquid for the snake, as per arena policy, and privately enjoyed the karma. Apparently, he'd never liked Snake Boy or his serpent. They'd been unnecessarily vicious in previous fights, almost attacking opponents after they surrendered. That kind of thing makes referees look bad, and this referee was a perfectionist. Snake Boy pried open the serpent's mouth, poured the liquid in, and recalled it to his spiritual sea. Then he stood up with a stiff face and said, I formally question the opponent's beast level. The referee internally rolled his eyes so hard they probably did a full rotation. But with the crowd chanting, black box, they had to go through the verification process. A guard brought over a testing crystal. It measures energy levels on a 9-point scale. Completely tamper-proof. Young Master Law, we need to verify your beast level. Standard procedure. Sure, no problem. I was grinning from ear to ear. 6 ears won. I had 4 fresh evolution points in the bank, and I had 20 blue crystal stones waiting for me at the betting window. Life was magnificent. 6 ears placed its tiny hand on the crystal. 3 out of 9 bars lit up. Level 3. Confirmed. Undeniable. Impossible to fake. Snake Boy grabbed the crystal and flipped it over and over, checking every angle, practically willing it to show a different number. Sorry, buddy. Math doesn't care about your feelings. The referee snatched it back, marched to center field, held the crystal above his head, and announced to the entire arena, verified. The monkey is confirmed level 3. People close enough could see the 3 glowing bars with their own eyes. No tricks. No scams. A level 3 monkey had just one shot to level 6, 10-win streak champion serpent. The gambling section let out a collective wail of despair. It sounded like a funeral choir. Beautiful. But somewhere in that crowd, one guy was doing the opposite of crying. Remember the gambler who bet against the snake? The one whose friend called him crazy for betting on my monkey at 20-to-1 odds? He'd thrown down 1 green crystal stone on a whim. He was now holding 20. Hee. Jackpot. He was giggling like a madman. His friend stared at him with the expression of a man watching someone win the lottery with a ticket they found on the ground. How did you know the monkey would win? Just had a feeling, the guy said casually. No way he was going to mention he'd seen my monkey obliterate Wang Chong and 2 level 5 servants in the street earlier today. That kind of insider knowledge ruins friendships. Smart man. As for me, I collected my 4 evolution points, my 20 blue crystal stones, and walked out of that arena with 6 ears on my shoulder and the biggest smile in the city. Our legend starts here. That evening, the 3 of us strolled out of the arena like conquering heroes. And honestly, we basically were. Xiao Bai and Da Zhuang each fought 3 same-level matches with their bonded beasts. Won all of them. No surprises there. Xiao Bai's rabbit now had the violence ability, and Da Zhuang's pig. Well, it's a king-class boar. Even at their levels, regular beasts didn't stand a chance. But MY record? Oh, let me tell you about MY record. After destroying the poison serpent in 1 second, 6 ears went on to fight 9 more battles. All against level 5 and level 6 opponents. Won every single one. Not a single fight lasted more than a few seconds. 1 punch, lights out, next victim please. The arena management wanted to send a level 7 beast against us, but they chickened out. Apparently, they'd decided 6 ears was going to be their new star attraction and didn't want to risk us losing. Smart business move. Terrible for my evolution points, but smart. The gamblers had a wild ride. After losing everything on the first fight, the smart ones switched to betting on my monkey. The arena kept lowering the odds, but people were still making money. I was basically a public service at this point. Stimulus package courtesy of Luo Tianya and his magical monkey. At dinner, I pulled out 4 blue crystal stones and split them between Xiao Bai and Da Zhuang. 2 each. Young master, what's this for? Xiao Bai frowned. Not for you. For your beasts, I leaned forward. Southern Sky Academy enrollment starts in a few days. I have a plan, and I need both of you to level up your beasts as fast as possible. Especially you, Da Zhuang. Your wild boar king needs to hit level 6 and awaken its divine ability. Xiao Bai's jaw dropped so hard it almost hit the table. He'd figured out what I was planning. Level 6? Bai Chou's beast wasn't even level 6 when she took the entrance exam 3 years ago. Yeah, well, Bai Chou had a dual-element mutant ice flame lion that could fight level 6 beasts at level 5. Da Zhuang's pig needs the raw power to compensate. So, level 6. Make it happen. I gave them their marching orders. By spirit liquid, train at the arena, manage their time wisely. No slacking. After dinner, we split up. Those 2 walked away with fire in their eyes. When someone hands you unlimited resources and says, get stronger, you either rise to the occasion or go home and have babies. And those 2 were not the baby-having type. Well, not yet anyway. I walked home singing, mentally counting my wealth. Between Wang Chong's generous donation and my arena winnings, I had enough blue crystals to fund our training all the way to the academy exam. Thanks again, Wang Chong. You're the best involuntary sponsor a guy could ask for. Now, the numbers. 10 arena fights earned me 38 evolution points. Not 40 because 2 opponents were level 5 instead of 6. Less gap, less points. Add the 13 leftover points, and I had 51 total. Enough to boost 6 ears by 5 whole levels, all the way to level 8. But when I suggested it, 6 ears shook its little head and told me through listen to all things. Not yet. I want to build an invincible foundation at level 3 first. I won't level up until I can beat a level 7 beast. Level 7. That's a massive wall in the beast world. The jump from 6 to 7 brings a gigantic power-up in strength, body, and divine abilities. 6-level beasts with divine abilities are still babies compared to 7s. That's exactly why the arena didn't dare match us against one. My monkey wanted to master its current power so thoroughly that it could punch above that wall before moving up. I respected that. Terrifying, but respectable. When I got home, the guard stopped me at the gate. "Young master, the family head wants to see you." Immediately, there it is. I wasn't surprised. My family owns the biggest share of the arena. My dad, well, technically my third uncle and clan leader, Luatong, obviously heard about his fallen genius nephew demolishing every level 6 beast in the building with a mysterious monkey. Of course he wanted to talk. I walked to his private garden at the back of the estate. Very zen. Flowers everywhere, perfectly trimmed trees, golden sunset light coating everything in warm amber. The kind of scenery designed to make you feel calm and reflective. Luatong was there, snipping flower branches with a pair of shears. His bonded beast, a silver-white howling moon sky wolf, was sprawled lazily on the grass nearby, looking about as intimidating as a big fluffy dog. "Family head," I said, bowing politely. He didn't respond, just kept cutting flowers. Power move, making me wait to establish dominance. So I sat down on a stone chair and started playing with 6 ears and my caterpillar. He eventually turned around and found me completely ignoring him. "Humph. No respect for your elders," he snapped. I didn't look up, kept tickling my monkey. His wolf shot him a look that clearly said, "He's not scared of you, dude." Luatong coughed awkwardly, walked over to the stone table, and sat down. "I heard you used a level 3 companion beast to defeat multiple level 6 beasts at the arena today?" "Yep. Is it this little thing?" He pointed at 6 ears. "Hey, Ichiwai, watch your mouth. This little thing? This is my partner. Show some respect." The clan leader of the most powerful family in the city just got scolded for being rude to a monkey. By his own nephew. His face went through several interesting colors. Fine, your partner. So what's its background? Where'd you get it? What are its abilities?" "Got it from the South Market." As for abilities, I pretended to think. "It's really good at punching." "Does that count?" "Really good at punching is not an ability classification. You've contracted it. You must know its actual powers." "I know. But I don't want to tell you." He shot up from his seat, veins popping. "Listen here, you brat. You think you're too big to listen to your third uncle now?" "Oh," I said, not looking up from my monkey. He switched tactics. Went from angry to reasonable. Soft voice, concerned face, the whole, "I'm just trying to help," routine. "Look, having a strong companion beast is nice, but your bonded beast is a caterpillar. There's no real development potential there. What are you hoping for? That it'll turn into a butterfly fairy?" And that's when my caterpillar lost its tiny mind. It stood straight up on my shoulder, antennae vibrating with rage, and started squealing at Luatong. And then, did it just, oh my god, it spat at him. My caterpillar literally hawked a tiny loogie in the direction of the clan leader. "Hey, what is your little bug doing?" Luatong wiped his face in disgust. "Pretty sure some caterpillar spit actually landed on him." "Well, maybe don't insult it then," I said, like it was the most obvious thing in the world. He huffed and went into lecture mode. "Your caterpillar is useless in battle. And your companion beast, no matter how strong, can't level you up. The moment you step onto a real battlefield, enemies will target the weakest link, which is you. You die, the companion contract breaks, and everything is for nothing." I just smacked my lips. He didn't know about my system. He didn't know companion beasts do level me up. He didn't know I could stack multiple companion beast bonuses. But I wasn't about to share that information with anyone, not even family. I stood up and bowed. "Anything else, family head? You stubborn brat." He was fuming. "I already gave the Southern Sky Academy spot to someone else. Just stay home and be a rich young master. Enjoy the easy life. I'll get into Southern Sky Academy on my own strength. Don't worry about it. If you dare go, I'll break your legs." "Oh." I walked away. Just, around the corner and gone. Behind me, I heard him collapse into his chair and sigh. "Big brother. Your kid's temper is exactly like yours." "Wait, big brother? So Luatong is my uncle, not my father? And my actual dad. Interesting." Filed that information away for later. I stormed out of his garden radiating such intense, "Do not talk to me. Energy that every maid and guard in the compound pressed themselves against the walls as I passed. Even Luahua, that cocky little cousin of mine, saw me coming and literally ran the other direction. He's going to snap again, I heard him whimper as he fled. Good. Apparently little kid me had a reputation for being terrifying when angry. Nice to know some things carry over. I had my reasons for needing to get into Southern Sky Academy. This wasn't optional. If the family wouldn't give me a spot, I'd punch my way in. Back in my room, door locked, maids dismissed. I took my caterpillar off my shoulder and held it in my palms. 6 years wanted to stay at level 3 and build an unbreakable foundation. I respected that. A cosmic anomaly born from heaven and earth probably has ancient instincts guiding its growth. I wasn't about to force my own schedule on a creature that literally bows to nothing in existence. But my caterpillar had no such philosophical ambitions. It was time to evolve. I had 51 evolution points. Upgrading the caterpillar to level 1 cost 22 points. That would leave 29, which was just enough for one more level, but I decided to take it one step at a time. Come on, little guy. This is your moment. 6 years was beside us, pumping its tiny fists in the air like a cheerleader. ZHZH, go caterpillar. You can do it. I activated the evolution points. 22 points consumed. And then, BOM. An aura of such overwhelming, majestic, royal power erupted from my caterpillar's tiny body that I thought the world was ending. It didn't just fill my room. It didn't just fill the estate. It blasted across the entire city, past the walls, into the monster forest beyond. Every single powerful person in Maple Leaf City felt it simultaneously. My uncle Luatome, still sulking in his garden, shot into the sky like a rocket, his silver wolf appearing beside him midair. What being is this? He shouted, scanning the city. This aura was so massive it covered everything, and he couldn't find the source. Across town, the white-bearded old man, the mysterious grandpa who'd been secretly following us, was strolling with his granddaughter when the aura hit. His eyes blazed. He swept his senses across the entire city and the forest beyond, but couldn't trace it back to anything. This royal aura, it's even purer than my own bonded beasts at its peak, he whispered, and the sheer impossibility of that statement froze him in his tracks. Whatever level this old man had reached in his lifetime, something in tiny little Maple Leaf City had just surpassed it. And out in the monster forest, every single beast dropped to the ground. Predators and prey, side by side, deadly enemies lying next to each other in perfect harmony, all facing toward the city, all kneeling. Could it really be? A beast of that level being born, the old man murmured, eyes filled with uncertainty. The aura lingered for a while, long enough to thoroughly freak out every powerful person within 100 miles, and then gradually faded, leaving no trace of its origin. And the culprit? My caterpillar was sitting on my palm, staring up at me in 6 years with its big, dumb, innocent eyes, like, what? Did something happen? I checked the system, hands shaking. Species, Azure Dragon type. Level 1. Divine ability, Azure Dragon Dominance. Status, just leveled up. A little confused. Azure Dragon Dominance. That royal aura that just made an entire city and forest bow down. That's my caterpillar's first divine ability. It forces all beasts to submit. In combat, it can freeze enemy beasts completely, total immobilization. Kind of similar to 6 years fist pressure, I noted, but different. 6 years technique uses concentrated killing intent to paralyze opponents. The caterpillar's is pure authority. It doesn't say, I'll hurt you if you move. It says, I am your king and you will kneel. And the best part? I got the ability too. Now all three of us, me, 6 years, and the caterpillar, have crowd control abilities. Between my Azure Dragon Dominance, 6 years I alone am invincible fist pressure, and the caterpillar's royal aura, any opponent we face gets locked down 3 different ways while 6 years punches them into orbit. In our generation, who could possibly stand against us? I closed my eyes and felt the level up bonus from the caterpillar. Body and soul power both got a nice boost, though my overall level was still 3 since that's 6 years level, the highest among my beasts. I picked up the caterpillar and inspected it. It looked mostly the same. Eyes still comically large, but the little horn antennae on its head were sharper now, more defined, more dragon-like. So caterpillar evolution starts from the head. Got it. I set it on the table and let it chat with 6 ears. Monkey and bug, deep in conversation. My two little world shakers. I had 29 points left, enough for one more caterpillar level. But after thinking about it, I decided to save them. The main firepower right now was 6 ears. Once it conquered a level 7 opponent and was ready to evolve, those points would go much further on the monkey. 6 ears needed way fewer points per level than my expensive taste dragon caterpillar. But now that you've got Azure Dragon dominance, I said, looking at my caterpillar, your training schedule starts immediately. No more free rides, little buddy. The caterpillar blinked its enormous eyes at me. I don't think it understood a single word. But that's fine. We had time. And we had a plan. 3 days later, 6 ears was officially the biggest star in the arena's history. 30 fights. 30 wins. Every single opponent was a peak level 6 beast. Not one lasted more than a punch. The crowd went from booing us to literally worshipping us. Level 3 Invincible Monkey King. That's what they were calling 6 ears now. We had fans. Even my uncle Luatong snuck in wearing a disguise to watch. I know it was him because who else in this city would wear a fake mustache that badly? He watched 6 ears demolish another level 6 beast, and I could practically see the thought bubble above his head. Why couldn't that be his bonded beast instead of the caterpillar? Oh, and remember the market vendor who sold me 6 ears for 10 white crystals? He showed up too. Watched my monkey annihilate everything in its path, and then burst into tears, full ugly crying, snot and everything. Some guy next to him tried to comfort him. Don't worry, buddy. Everyone loses money betting against the monkey at first. That made him cry harder. Because he wasn't crying about gambling. He was crying about the 10 crystals. 10 measly crystals. For a one-of-a-kind cosmic anomaly. That man will never financially recover from this emotionally. Anyway, after my fights were done, it was Da Zhuang's turn. His little black pig had been on a hot streak too, earning the nickname Pig King from the crowd. Da Zhuang was so proud of that stupid name. His pig was right at the edge of level 5, one good fight away from breaking through. His opponent walked out, and immediately my gut went cold. Skinny guy, dark eyes, a python coiled around his shoulders, pitch black, tongue flicking. Something about him felt wrong. The registration said his snake was level 5, but every instinct in my body was screaming that this wasn't a fair fight. Da Zhuang, be careful, I called from the sidelines. I know. He set his pig down, formed the amplification array, and boosted it. The pig was fired up, snorting steam, hooves scraping the ground, ready to charge. The referee yelled, "Fight," and then the skinny guy smiled. This horrible, oily, knowing smile. His hands moved. A special array, one he'd prepared before the fight started, slammed into his python, and the snake's power exploded. Level 5 to level 6. Level 6 to level 6 peak. In 1 second. Da with grave Zhuang, watch out, I screamed. Too late. The pig had already launched its charge ability, a straight-line sprint that can't be stopped mid-rush. And the now level 6 peak python reared up, whipped its tail against the ground, and sent a wall of stone spikes erupting from the arena floor. My pig had no defense. No time to dodge. No way to stop. Squeal. The spikes caught the pig mid-charge and launched it into the air. One spike punched straight through its belly. Blood everywhere. I surrender. I roared at the same time as Da Zhuang, who was already sprinting toward his pig with tears streaming down his face. The referee called the match. It was over. But the skinny guy didn't stop. His python whipped its tail again. More stone spikes, erupting across the entire arena, targeting Da Zhuang and the wounded pig. The fight was over, and this psychopath was still attacking. Da with grave Zhuang, Xiao Bai and I vaulted into the arena instantly, but the level 9 referee was faster. He flickered like a ghost, grabbed Da Zhuang in one hand, scooped up the bleeding pig in the other, and appeared at the arena's edge in a blink. 6 ears and Xiao Bai's violence rabbit both punched the incoming stone spikes into gravel. Boom boom, rubble everywhere. Da Zhuang held his bleeding pig, tears the size of marbles rolling down his big face. I'm sorry, little buddy. I was careless. This is my fault. The pig weakly opened its eyes, shook its tiny head, and nuzzled his hand. It's not your fault. I just wasn't careful enough. Watching this enormous, muscular guy crying over a wounded piglet while it tried to comfort him. Yeah, my eyes might have gotten a little dusty too. Doctor, I yelled for the arena's medical team. The diagnosis: belly pierced, internal organs damaged. It's a bonded beast, so it wouldn't die, but recovery would take a while. With high-grade spirit liquid, maybe 3 or 4 days. 3 or 4 days. The academy exam was right around the corner. We couldn't afford that. I looked at the butterfly fairy floating nearby, watching the scene with mild curiosity, but zero intention of helping. The doctor shook his head before I even asked. She only heals when she's in the mood. You can't force. I stepped forward, bowed deeply, the deepest bow I'd ever given anyone who wasn't family, and said, "Please, butterfly fairy. I, Luo Tianya, will owe you a personal debt." Xiaobai was stunned. He'd never seen me humble myself like this. Not once. Not ever. The butterfly fairy tilted her tiny head, studying me. Then she reached out her little hand and patted my head, like I was a puppy. Then she suddenly got excited, twirling around me in circles. And then she flew to the pig and unleashed her healing light. Not the usual half-effort pale glow. Full. Power. Pure, radiant, milky white light pouring into the pig's wounds. The doctor's jaw hit the floor. 10 out of 10, he gasped. She's never given full power. In all my years with her, never. 5 out of 10 was her maximum. What did this kid do? The pig's wounds were closing in real time. Flesh knitting back together. Internal organs repairing. In minutes, the piglet was breathing normally again. Thank you, butterfly fairy. I will repay this debt. I bowed again. She giggled, an actual fairy giggle, glanced at me one more time, and vanished in a sparkle of light. Crisis handled. Now for the real problem. I turned toward the other side of the arena. The skinny guy had already surrendered to the referee and was sitting on the ground with his hands up, python coiled peacefully beside him. Like a man who'd done exactly what he came to do and was perfectly fine with the consequences. He was a pawn, a tool. Someone sent him. And from the dark entrance tunnel on the far side of the arena, I heard it. A single, quiet laugh cutting through the crowd, noise like a knife. Just one syllable. But I heard it perfectly through Listen to All Things. And I knew exactly who it belonged to. My blood went ice cold. My fists clenched. Wang Tung, Wang Cheng's big brother. The one who was supposed to be at Southern Sky Academy. The genius of the Wang family. He'd come home, and his first move was to hurt my people. This was no longer about bullying or rivalry. This was war. The arena investigation was exactly as useless as I expected. We confirmed that someone tampered with the python before the match. The arena manager, Li, reported to me, sweating bullets. They masked its real level 6 peak energy. The level tester and the match scheduler were both bribed. And where are they now? They ran away before the fight started. Find them. I don't care if they run to the edge of the continent. Relax. I cut him off, arms crossed. This was planned from the start. By the time you send people after them, they'll be long gone. You'll be chasing dust. Li turned to me, bowing so low his forehead nearly touched his knees. Young Master Luo, this is entirely our fault. We'll cover all medical costs for your friend's beast, refund every bet placed on that fight. Refund the ticket sales too, I said. Might save a shred of your reputation. He looked like he wanted to cry. And honestly, he should. Bribed employees, hidden beast levels, an attacker who kept going after the surrender call. This was the biggest scandal the arena had ever seen. The other major families that co-own the arena were going to eat him alive. Not my problem. I had a bigger one. I walked to an empty corridor, clenched my fists until my knuckles went white, and hissed through my teeth. Wang Tung. I'd never met the guy face to face, but I was 100% certain that laugh from the tunnel was his. Wang Cheng's big brother. The Wang family's golden boy. The guy who was supposed to be at Southern Sky Academy being important. He'd come home, and his first move was targeting my people. The strategy was obvious once I thought about it. 6 Ears was the arena's star, too visible, too watched, too risky to mess with publicly. But Xiao Bai and Dazhuang, they were in my shadow. Nobody was paying close attention to their fights. All it took was a few bribes. Easy when the Wang family owned shares in the arena. And suddenly Dazhuang's, level 5, opponent was actually a concealed level 6 peak monster. Why Dazhuang instead of Xiao Bai? Simple. Level 4 pig versus level 6 rabbit. You squeeze the softest target. Classic bully logic, passed down from little brother to big brother apparently. This isn't my fault, I muttered. I brought Dazhuang into this. If the butterfly fairy hadn't healed him, he might have missed the academy exam in 3 days. I took a breath, sort of my thoughts, then walked back to the room where my guys were waiting. Dazhuang looked broken. He'd recalled his pig to his spiritual sea and was sitting there staring at the floor like the world had ended. Xiaobai was beside him, trying to help, but nothing was getting through. "Die with grave Zhuang," I barked as I walked in. Both of them looked up. "Listen to me. This was a setup. We got played. But sitting here hating yourself changes nothing. The lesson isn't I shouldn't have fought. The lesson is I won't fall for the same trick twice. We learn, we adapt, we get stronger. That's how we move forward." I stepped closer, looking him dead in the eye. "We're going to face things 1,000 times worse than this. Outer realm demon beasts that want to destroy everything we love. If one rigged arena fight crushes your spirit, how will you stand beside me when the real battles come? How will you reach the top of this continent with us?" He looked at me, eyes red, face torn between shame and something else, maybe hope. "Go home. Rest. The pig's been healed. She just needs time to recover. Take all the compensation spirit liquid from the arena." I pointed at a table loaded with about a dozen mid-grade portions. "Use every drop." Xiaobai gently pulled Dazhuang to his feet, grabbed the spirit liquid, gave me a nod, and let him out. I stood alone in that room for a long time. Then I went to find someone who might have useful information about our new enemy. Later, Xiaobai told me what happened when Dazhuang got home. And honestly, it was the best part of the entire day. Dazhuang walked through the door of his new house, the one I'd bought for him and his mom with some of the crystal stones, still looking like a kicked puppy. "Ma, I'm home. Perfect timing. Dinner's ready." His mother, everyone calls her Madame Fong, came out smiling. She's a thin, worn-down woman who spent years doing other people's laundry just to feed her son. But behind those tired eyes, steel. Dazhuang sat down, ate 3 bowls of rice in silence. For a guy who normally eats 6, that's basically a hunger strike. Madame Fong waited until he put down his chopsticks. "Something happened today?" "No." Head shake so aggressive it looked like a bobblehead in an earthquake. "Boy, you came out of my body. You think I can't tell when you're upset?" He caved and told her everything. The rigged fight, the pig getting hurt, my speech, his shame. Madame Fong listened quietly. Then she sighed and said, "That Tianya boy, he really works too hard for all of you." Then her face turned to stone. She slammed her chopsticks on the table so hard the bowls rattled. "Kneel." "Huh?" I said kneel. He dropped like a rock. Knees on the floor, looking up at his mother with the terrified expression of a child who just broke the neighbor's window. "Do you know what you did wrong today?" "I was careless. Too reckless." He was pulling his own earlobes. "Apparently that's the standard, I'm being punished, position in their household. That's one thing. The other? You worried your friends. And more importantly, you acted like a coward afterward. I raised you to be a man who stands tall. When there's a wall in front of you, you smash through it. You don't sit down and cry about how hard the wall is. If this little setback breaks you, what happens when a real disaster comes?" She paused, voice softening just a fraction. "Take this as your shame. Burn it into your memory. And next time, you fight with everything you have and bring home a victory. That's how you wash away today's disgrace." I love this woman. Xiaobai and I spent an hour trying to cheer Dazhuang up with inspirational speeches and gentle encouragement. His mom accomplished more in 30 seconds with sheer terror. "Ma, I understand now. Next time I'll beat the living language. Sorry, beat. Ma, I'm hungry again. Can I have 3 more bowls?" "Of course, sweetheart." From drill sergeant back to loving mother in 0.2 seconds. Madame Fong is the most terrifying and wonderful woman in Maple Leaf City, and I will protect that household with my life. Meanwhile, somewhere in the shadows of this city, Wang Tung was probably smirking, thinking he'd won round 1. "Enjoy it, buddy. Because round 2? That's mine." After leaving Dazhuang with Xiaobai, I went to find someone who could help me with a very specific problem. The referee, Josua, level 9 beast tamer, the same guy who'd been officiating all our arena fights. He'd seen 6 years in action, he was powerful, and most importantly, he seemed like the kind of guy who could be bought. "I need a favor," I said, looking him straight in the eye. "Oh? The great young master Luo needs my help." He looked genuinely amused. I held up a blue crystal stone. "One of these. Deal." The crystal vanished from my hand so fast I thought I imagined it. This man has reflexes when money is involved. You're not even going to ask what the job is. You're not going to ask me to kill anyone. He shrugged. What if I am asking you to kill someone? Then I won't do it. And the crystal? Not giving it back. You have the thickest skin I've ever seen. Thank you. Okay, I like this guy. Shameless, but honest about it. Look, I'm not asking you to track down those 2 bribed employees, I said, getting serious. That's pointless. This was Wang Teng's scheme, an open conspiracy. He wanted us to know it was him, but set it up so we can't prove anything. Catching his pawns doesn't change that. Josua raised an eyebrow. I could tell he was reevaluating me. Good. I'm not just a pretty face with a monkey. So what do you need? Do you have any companion beasts above level 6? A level 7 white fox. Why? I want your fox to fight my monkey. Full power. No holding back. What? Don't ask questions. Just answer. Will you do it? He studied me, then looked at 6 ears on my shoulder. The monkey was practically vibrating with excitement, bouncing on the spot, fists clenching and unclenching. Full power against a level 3 monkey? I mean, if you're okay with it, I'm okay with it. The customer is always right, especially when they pay in blue crystals. See, here's what happened. After 3 days of annihilating every level 6 beast in the arena, 6 ears had hit a wall, not a power wall, a growth wall. It had beaten so many 6s that there was nothing left to learn from them. The fist technique wasn't evolving. The second form of I alone, invincible, wasn't unlocking. 6 ears needed a real challenge. Something that could actually push back. Something that could make its blood boil. Level 7. That evening, we met at the edge of the monster forest, just outside the city walls. Josua had his bonded beast, the sword bird, perched on one shoulder, and a pure white fox cradled in his arms. I looked at the fox, then at him, then back at the fox. So your companion beast is a pretty white fox, a female fox, and you carry her around in your arms like a baby. His face went red. It's not what it looks like. Her divine ability is illusion, combined with my swordbird's flash step ability. We're the ultimate escape combo. She's tactically valuable, sure. Tactically valuable. That's what they all say about their pretty lady foxes. I will end this conversation. I turned to 6 ears. Illusion ability. You good with that? Gigi, firm head shake. No problem. Good. Because this fight wasn't just practice. This was the test. 3 days of crushing 6s had sharpened 6 ears' fist to a razor's edge, but a razor needs a stone to get sharper. Level 7 was that stone. Beasts at that tier operate on a completely different plane. Their power, their bodies, their abilities all undergo a massive leap. If 6 ears could handle this, the second form of I alone, invincible fist, might finally awaken. Ready? I asked. 6 ears nodded, vanished from my shoulder in a blur, appeared in the clearing between us, hands clasped behind its back, staring at the white fox with the calm intensity of a warrior who's been waiting for this moment. Fight! Boom. 6 ears didn't wait for introductions. The second I said, fight, it launched Mountain Splitter straight at the white fox, and at Josua too, because apparently my monkey doesn't believe in civilians. You trying to fight all 3 of us? Josua laughed, tossed his fox into the air, and flickered out of the blast zone like he was made of smoke. Level 9 reflexes. Show off. The white fox was no joke either. 7-level beasts operate on a different plane, and even though this fox was built for support, not combat, it was fast. It dodged 6 ears' fist energy with a graceful sidestep, then casually swiped a claw at a nearby tree. The massive trunk split clean in half and came crashing down on my monkey like a wooden meteor. Your fox has great combat instincts, I admitted. Obviously, Josua said smugly. She's been through plenty of real fights. Then he noticed something. Hey, why isn't your monkey using that pressure move? The one that freezes opponents. Good eye? 6 ears was deliberately not using its domination aura. No fist intent, no overwhelming pressure, no bow before me vibes. Just pure, raw technique. That's the point, I explained. It's fighting with handicaps on purpose. No special tricks. Just fists versus fox. The pressure is what forces it to grow. Josua whistled, impressed. A level 3 beast choosing to fight a level 7 without its trump card? That's either brilliant or suicidal. 6 ears punched through the falling tree like it was made of paper. Splinters exploded everywhere. Then it kicked off a chunk of broken trunk and rocketed after the fox again. The two beasts tore through the forest edge like a tornado. Trees snapping, smaller beasts fleeing in every direction, the whole area turning into a disaster zone. Good thing we were on the outskirts. Nothing too dangerous lurking here. Then, chirp chirp, Josue's swordbird, still perched on his shoulder, made a noise. I glanced over, and our eyes met. With listen to all things active, I heard its inner monologue clear as day. Ugh. So bored. I almost burst out laughing. This level 9 killing machine of a bird was sitting there watching the most intense beast battle of the month, and its only thought was, this is boring. What a mood. Back on the battlefield, 6 Ears was dominating the chase. Every obstacle the fox threw up, rocks, branches, fallen trees, got obliterated with a single punch. The fox was crafty and experienced, but it just wasn't built for head-on fighting. It was a support beast playing a combat game, and my monkey was a combat beast playing its favorite game. An idea formed in my head. I leaned over and whispered something to Josua. His eyebrows shot up. You sure? I nodded. The swordbird's eyes lit up. Finally, something to do, and it launched off Josua's shoulder like a silver-gray missile. A blade-shaped shadow streaked through the air, aimed directly at 6 Ears' back. Yeah, I asked him to send in his level 9 bonded beast. 2 against 1. 7 and 9 versus 3. I'm either a genius coach or the worst pet owner in history. 6 Ears felt it coming before it arrived. Battle instincts on full blast. Without even turning around, it rapid-fired punches with its left hand to clear the fox's incoming debris, then pulled its right fist back, coiled every ounce of power in its tiny body, and launched it forward. This punch felt different. Heavier. Realer. Like it actually could split a mountain. Boom. Fist met blade. The collision sent a shockwave ripping outward in every direction. Visible ripples in the air. Trees ripped from the ground in a circle around the impact point. Even the white fox, halfway across the clearing, got caught in the blast wave and went tumbling through the air, flipping 3 times before catching herself on an ancient tree, yelling, "Zish!" in pure fox outrage. The shockwave faded. 2 figures stood facing each other in the crater of destroyed forest. Silence. Then drip. Drip. I looked closer. 6 Ears was standing on a fallen tree trunk, looking absolutely magnificent and defiant. But golden blood was dripping from its right hand. On the other side, the swordbird's silver-gray beak was glowing faintly. The edge that had drawn first blood. My monkey punched a level 9 beast's attack head-on and only got a cut hand. But still, it got cut. First blood belonged to the swordbird. 6 Ears stared at its bleeding fist. The swordbird stared back. Neither moved. The forest was dead silent. And somewhere inside that tiny monkey's soul, I could feel it. Something shifting. Something waking up. The wall between level 3 power and something greater was starting to crack. This was exactly what we came for. Absolutely terrifying. Josua gasped, and for the first time tonight, I saw genuine fear in a level 9 beast tamer's eyes. Here's what had him shook. His swordbird had attacked 6 Ears at level 7 power. Sure, that was the deal. But the swordbird's divine ability, Sword Strike, was awakened at level 9. Its natural blade beak plus that ability together could challenge level 8 beasts. We're talking an attack that outclasses its own restricted power level. And my level 3 monkey blocked it, with its fist, and only got a small cut. The bleeding had already stopped, by the way. 6 Ears was standing there looking more excited than before the hit. Not scared, not shaken, thrilled. Like a fighter who'd been sparring with children for weeks and finally found someone who could actually punch back. ROARR. 6 Ears stomped through the tree it was standing on, shattered it like a toothpick, launched into the sky, loaded up Mountain Splitter with full fist intent, and dove at the swordbird like a golden meteor. Asiri. The swordbird wasn't backing down either. Wings spiraling, beak first, it activated Sword Strike and corkscrewed upward in a flash of silver-gray light. 2 projectiles on a collision course. The sky above the forest lit up. 2 tiny figures crashing into each other over and over. Explosions echoing across the treetops like thunder. Boom, 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 nonstop. What breed is this monkey? Josua was yelling over the noise, face completely drained of color. I kept my eyes locked on the fight. One of a kind. Boom. Another shockwave flattened the treetops. Leaves and branches rained down like confetti at the world's most violent party. They separated again, each landing on a treetop, swaying in the wind. 6 Years was breathing hard now. Understandable. It was a level 3 body sustaining level 7 combat intensity. The spirit was willing, but the flesh had its limits. But I could feel it through our connection. 6 Years was right there, right at the door of the second form. One more push. One final breakthrough. The monkey closed its eyes. Inhaled slowly. Exhaled. When its eyes opened again, they were blazing with golden light. Pure clarity. Zero doubt. It kicked off the treetop and soared into the moonlit sky. And up there, silhouetted against the rising moon, it pulled both fists back, stirring the very air around it into a swirling vortex. The wind obeyed. The clouds parted. And for one brief, breathtaking moment, this tiny 3-level monkey looked like an ancient martial arts grandmaster descending from the heavens. Fist intent charged to the absolute maximum, beyond anything it had ever produced. Beyond Mountain Splitter. 6 Years roared and brought the fist down from above. Not just a punch anymore, a declaration. A statement to the universe that said, I am coming through and nothing will stop me. Esiri. The sword bird answered with something I'd never heard before. Not its usual chirping, but an actual sword cry. Its talons split the ancient tree beneath it clean in half. It rocketed upward, sword strike blazing, and projected a 3-foot beam of pure blade energy upward, like a lance trying to pierce heaven itself. For one frozen instant, time stopped. Invincible fist versus ultimate blade. Tiny monkey versus legendary bird. Falling meteor versus rising spear. Then, Duowong first, silence. Then a sound like someone striking the universe's biggest bell. Then explosions. One after another, the shock waves rippling outward, shredding every tree in a 100-meter radius. 6 Years was blasted into the sky and fell into the forest below. The sword bird was knocked straight down into the tree line on the opposite side. Dust and debris erupted in massive clouds, hiding both of them completely. Josua and I stood there, staring into the settling dust. Who won? My heart nearly stopped. The dust was still settling, and I was already sprinting into the blast zone like a maniac. Here's the thing everyone forgets. 6 Years is a companion beast, not a bonded beast. If it takes fatal damage, it doesn't get to retreat into my soul ocean for a nice healing nap. It just dies. Gone forever. Meanwhile, the sword bird is a bonded beast and a level 9 powerhouse that was only using level 7 power. If things got bad, it could go full 9 at any moment. So yeah, I was panicking. Josua flickered to my side, grabbed my shoulder, and teleported us both to ground zero. Level 9 speed is genuinely ridiculous. 1 second we were at the edge, next second we were standing in a crater of destroyed forest. The dust cleared slowly, dramatically, like the universe was milking the suspense. On one side, the sword bird, perched calmly on a fallen tree branch. Feathers slightly ruffled. That's IT. A little messy hair after trading blows with a being 4 levels below it. It looked mildly inconvenienced at worst. On the other side, 6 Years, barely standing. One hand gripping a tree trunk for support, panting like it had just run across the entire continent. Exhausted, drained, running on absolute fumes. But its eyes? Still burning, still defiant, still screaming, I'm not done. This monkey was physically wrecked, but spiritually unbreakable. And then I felt it. Something I wasn't expecting at all. A wave of golden energy pulsed from 6 Years' body. The exhaustion vanished. The wounds started closing. Its eyes snapped wide open, blazing with fresh power. It leveled up. Mid-battle. From 3 to 4. Did it just level up from fighting? Josua's face was doing something between confusion, disbelief, and existential crisis. I could practically hear his brain buffering. And yeah, I get why he was freaking out. Let's recap what he just witnessed. A level 3 monkey fought his level 9 sword bird, restricted to level 7, matched it blow for blow, and in their final clash both of them exceeded level 7 power output. Then the monkey leveled up as a reward for the performance. Are other beasts even allowed to exist at this point? He muttered. I leveled up too, to level 4, but the system did something clever. Since Josua was standing right there, it masked my level-up energy fluctuation. No visible glow, no power surge, nothing detectable. From the outside, I looked completely unchanged. Nice touch, system, I said internally. You're actually considerate when you want to be. 6 ears, now freshly 4 level and bursting with energy, took a step forward toward the sword bird. Eyes locked on, fists clenching. It wanted round 2. Then, out of nowhere, some invisible force descended from the universe? Its bloodline? The fist technique itself? Whatever it was, it hit 6 ears like a cosmic tranquilizer dart. The monkey's right foot stepped forward into empty air, its body tilted sideways, and it collapsed face first onto the ground. Out cold. 6 ERS. I dove in, scooped it up, checked everything. Breathing, stable. Wounds, healing. Heartbeat, normal. I touched its forehead, and the system flashed. Currently receiving comprehension of I alone am invincible fist, second form. Oh. It wasn't injured or exhausted. It was downloading an upgrade. The second form was being transmitted directly into its bloodline consciousness. It had finally kicked open that door. I let out a massive breath of relief. My monkey wasn't dying. It was getting a software update. What happened? Why'd it pass out? Josue appeared beside me, sword bird on his shoulder, both of them peering at the unconscious monkey with genuine concern. Just exhaustion, I said casually. High-intensity combat at that level, way beyond its body's limits. It crashed, not the whole truth, but I wasn't about to explain bloodline fist transmissions to a guy I'd known for 3 days. Josue looked slightly suspicious. Normally leveling up restores your energy, but he probably chalked it up to some kind of secret technique backlash. Close enough. The moon was high and bright as we walked back toward the city walls. Me carrying a sleeping monkey, him with a bird on his shoulder. 2 guys and their beasts, side by side, leaving behind a stretch of monster forest that looked like a meteor had hit it. Flattened trees, craters, slash marks in the earth, scattered debris for 100 meters in every direction. Somewhere, some low-level forest beast was going to wake up tomorrow, see the devastation, and have a very confusing morning. And inside my arms, curled up peacefully, a tiny monkey was dreaming of its next impossible punch. Second form. Here we come. Your beast's talent is absolutely insane. Josue was shaking his head the entire walk back, still processing what he'd just witnessed. I thought 3 beating 6 was the limit of imagination. Then this monkey goes and trades blows with a 7 peak and outputs power beyond that. I just grinned. What was I supposed to say? Yeah, and you should see its second form when it wakes up. Zish, oh no. The white fox was mad. She'd gotten dragged into a battle, barely done anything, gotten blasted across the forest by the shockwave of someone else's fight. And, worst of all, her beautiful silky fur was all messed up. She was giving Josue the most murderous glare a fluffy animal can produce. Sweetie, don't be upset. I'll buy you spirit fruits when we get home. The fancy ones, this grown man, a level 9 beast tamer, a professional arena referee, a warrior capable of leveling buildings, was baby-talking a fox like it was his girlfriend after a bad date. He was petting her, cooing at her, practically apologizing for the wind existing. I watched this scene, and my brain immediately went to those old stories from my past life. You know the ones. Lonely scholar meets beautiful fox spirit in the mountains. They fall in love. Things get complicated. Usually there's moonlight involved. I looked at Josue, looked at the moonlight, looked at the white fox in his arms. Then I quietly took several large steps away from him. Just in case. Chirp. While Josue was busy being a fox husband, his sword bird had silently landed on my shoulder. I hadn't even felt it arrive. 1 second, empty shoulder. Next second, bird. Hey, thank you for today, I said sincerely. And I meant it. The sword bird had been the real MVP. It controlled its power perfectly to give 6 ears the exact challenge it needed. Not so easy it was pointless, not so hard it was deadly. Without the sword bird pushing my monkey to its absolute limit, the breakthrough wouldn't have happened. Chirp, chirp. The bird shook its head modestly, then looked down at 6 ears sleeping in my arms with concern. It's fine, I said, understanding its question. Just needs a good nap. Tomorrow it'll be good as new. Chirp. The bird nodded, visibly relieved. Its tiny face actually showed relief. How does a bird make facial expressions this detailed? It's got a beak. Beaks don't move that way. Then curiosity got me. Can I touch you? Like, properly? I freed one hand and held it out. The sword bird tilted its head. No suspicion, no hesitation. and hopped down my arm like a little bouncing ball until it landed right in my palm. The system activated instantly. New scan. New information. Species, sword bird. Level, 9 peak. Divine abilities, flash step, sword strike. Status, slightly tired from battle. Curious about opponent. Wish, wants to see where the sky ends. I blinked, then blinked again. First, 9 peak. That was new. Every other beast I'd scanned just showed a flat number. No sublevels. But the sword bird was at the peak of 9, the absolute ceiling before. Whatever comes next. Second, there was a brand new field in the stats. Wish. I'd never seen that before on any beast. Not 6 ears, not the caterpillar, not the rabbit, not the pig. Just the sword bird. My brain started spinning. Level 9 peak. A new stat field that only appears at the highest level. A personal wish. Is this the key to breaking through level 9? I wondered. Does fulfilling this wish trigger the breakthrough? Or increase the chances? It made sense. Level 9 is the known ceiling of this world. Nobody talks about what's beyond because nobody gets there. If the system was showing me a wish specifically for a beast at level 9 peak, then maybe, just maybe, that wish was the door to the next level. A level that might not even have a name yet. I looked at the sword bird sitting in my palm. It was staring at me with its head tilted, curious, innocent. This little creature that could slice through mountains with its beak had one dream in its tiny bird heart. It wanted to fly so high it found the end of the sky. Not power, not victory, not territory. It just wanted to fly. To go up and up and up until there was nowhere left to go. To find the ceiling of heaven itself and see what was on the other side. Something about that hit me right in the chest. I brought my palm up to eye level, looked straight at the sword bird, and said with every ounce of sincerity I had, "If you want to fly, then fly with everything you've got." The sword bird stared at me for a long moment. Then its eyes sparkled, just briefly, like a tiny star had ignited behind them. Chirp, one quiet, gentle chirp. But through listen to all things, I heard what it really meant. Thank you.